The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Stop! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Author Tone Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. This program begins now. Football is happening in just a matter of weeks, and obviously we have training camp and drama and contracts being signed to chit-chat about, and we'll certainly be doing that all day today. Peter Schrager will be joining us in the second hour. He obviously has been on every show today, so we will try to continue that run that he has been on, and also we need some answers from Schrags, because not only did yesterday's conversation get cut short while he was at Jets and Giants training camp because of maybe some throttling.
Sure.
Maybe some throttling going on. But he happens to be very close friends with a lot of people that are very close to a lot of the big stories that are happening right now. Schrager might be the key to all the information we need as we look ahead just 3 weeks and 1 day from now, where the NFL season will officially kick off in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as they celebrate the hell out of winning that Super Bowl. So Schrags will join us. Oh yeah, the general manager for the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane, will join us here in about 14 minutes or so, fresh off of signing James Cook to a $30 million guaranteed deal, and also spending about $1.something billion this offseason to retain his own guys. Brandon Beane has built a team from within, basically, has spent from within, and now we're getting a chance to see a team go all in Buffalo, while also watching Hard Knocks and learning about their entire team being a bunch of dogs. I really enjoy KJ Hamler.
Yeah.
Outside Jerry Jeudy, Jerry Jeudy's our favorite player.
No doubt.
Talked about that numerous times. Fashion, his moxie, his everything. We love Jerry Jeudy. This guy, come close. He's really climbing the ladder quick.
He's a star.
Each Hard Knocks episode, KJ Hamler only gets better, by the way. Now, we hope he has that can't happen.
What was that?
You know what that was. Don't show.
No.
Yeah. Almost don't be giving away the gimmick, brother. Don't be giving away the gimmick, brother.
Never.
But the Hard Knocks, once again, is showcasing people and teams to a manner that makes you think, I like this team. And we have Brandon Beane on. He's been spending a lot of money. Can't wait to chat with him. He's probably very happy that his first ever hold-in that he's ever had as a general manager is over with James Cook, especially a guy who is basically their go-to. I mean, he had the most yards, I believe, for Buffalo. Once Joe Brady became the offensive coordinator, all anybody was saying up there was, let James Cook. And they did. He's a dog. Obviously, his older brother Dalvin was a dog. And we cannot wait to watch this Buffalo Bills team who's going all in clearly and obviously has dogs across the board. They need to win a Super Bowl. You know, that's what people are talking about. But it's not just about Brandon Beane, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, no.
It's not just about Peter Schrager.
No.
Okay? It's not just about Neil Shipley, who will be joining us, obviously incredible golfer we're big fans of out of Ohio State. I believe he's on the Corn Ferry Tour now. Can't wait to chit-chat with him. We've been continuing a little golf conversation, trying to get into that. It's not just the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Con man, great shirt today.
Thank you. You too. Good to see the tank back in the saddle, huh?
Yeah, you see that got a little tan from the islands, you know, why not? Kind of in the best shape I've been in a long, long time. Saw the tank staring at me today. And I said, on Author Tone Wednesday? Does feel like the right time to come back, especially with this summer becoming a perfect one. The weather outside is delightful.
Yeah.
Used to be scorching hot everywhere. Now we're in a great spot. Happy summer. Also 3 weeks, 1 day from the NFL kickoff. Love your shirt. I have a couple bald eagles of America, basically, that live on the property in which I inhabit now. And it is great to see these things take off, fly. They are majestic, and they are the weapons of the sky. They are the winners. And you've heard the story about the crow. You know?
Oh, yeah, sure.
The crow.
Bob Sala told me all about it in the 5-minute little thing he did last year.
Yeah, what did he say? He said, well, the bald eagle only really has one bird that has enough gumption to kind of step up to it. It's the crow. The crow is also a large bird. Have a murder of crows on the property as well. They are a big bird. They're not scared to kind of attack the bald eagle. The bald eagle, though, says, that's no problem. That's no problem. And bald eagle just starts flying north. And by north, I mean we're climbing altitude.
Oh, yeah.
And inevitably, the crow is too damn dumb, doesn't even know. Even the crow is a very smart bird, has no idea that it's never going to be able to keep up with the eagle. The eagle is Michael Phelps underwater, but at altitude, you can't, and the crow inevitably in the eagle's sword. And that's a great depiction of what we need to do.
Amen.
We need to just fly higher than our haters. As those crows are attacking us, we just need to get to an altitude that they will never get to. Shout to America, shout to the bald eagle. And also, shout to America, wrapped around bald eagle's head there.
Yeah, amen. Yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure, and it's just kind of a great uniter, it feels like.
It is.
Football and Eagles and just majestic great things are on the horizon.
And authors.
Got
a 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler, sitting in a big-time seat over there.
Hell yeah.
Butch.
Feels majestic over here. Fly, Eagles, fly. But I can't wait for Arthur Tone to get out here. Almost, I'm excited. I'm just
almost.
Jeez Louise.
Twice now.
It's early.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live in the Thunderdome. What an honor. This man is from Plumboro, which is in the East Hills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Sure.
He's a D1 athlete.
Yeah.
This man went to a school that would have been Ivy League if there was more grass around campus.
True.
The beautiful Duquesne University. He's proud to be a Duke. He loves ball. Loves it. Super duper Italian. Okay, his name's not Tony, but it might as well be.
Yeah.
like Tony, Roman Anthony's father.
Yeah, Mr. Tony is certainly something that we have never seen. But maybe others have. That's my first Tony. And I'll tell you, if it was Michelangelo, I don't know how much more you get other than Tony. This guy, though, Paisan great, Western Pennsylvania legend, a Mustang through and through, and now a two-time actual author. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of the Need to Know Gambler's Guide for College Football 2025-2026 season, which is available now at store.patmcafeeshow.com for a very low price of $9.99, where you will get all the information you will need to be a sophisticated sports gambler going into the season. Does that guarantee that you win? Absolutely not. But it's a lot of good information.
Yeah.
If you're a data person, if you're a stats person, if you want to get quotes from teams or just overall narratives about teams, how about conferences? How about some future bets that we should look at? Last year, over 500, whatever we were doing that. Maybe this year we continue the trend. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of this particular book, host of Hammer Time from the Pat McAfee Show program. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony DeJoia. Very good running style. Very good running style. Yeah! High fives! Hardball!
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's up, Hemingway?
Well, Tone,
Yeah.
you got a SIG behind your left ear there?
Yeah, it's an author.
Yeah, you are an author, I guess.
An author, yeah.
You brought out your best cowboy hat, I see.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Yeah, it is a big day. All we wanted to really say was, congratulations!
Yeah, Tony!
Tony. Quick trigger on this one, I apologize.
He's got some power.
Little juice. You didn't know that was coming, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, obviously that one went right down my throat.
Yeah. Well, you're D-Butts almost gave away his cannon.
Yeah.
Fell off earlier. That was the big thump that you heard.
Didn't
Well,
have
you know-
one piece of confetti in it, by the way.
Yours didn't?
Straight blue powder.
It's a boy.
It's a boy. I think Ty might have as well.
Hey, it is. Hey, real quick.
I mean, I guess it said
It is.
Oh, yeah, pink powder.
So
Pink powder.
you had a girl.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yours,
You had a boy. I had a multicolor.
Multicolor as well.
Thank God I didn't get the powder from you.
It was a nice mix in the entirety. You wore that boy, though, if we were to celebrate the blue chalk that just went out there. And that went exactly how we would have hoped it would.
That was awesome. Wow.
Yeah, Zito thought of that about a minute and a half before we went live. He goes, hey, we got confetti cannons in here. And I said, Could we have those? And he goes, yes, we can very easily get them. And then as the countdown's happening, Zito's walking in, handing out these guns. And as the show is at 5, 4, what are we saying? We're just when I say congratulate, we shoot him right in the face. All right. And then I think Ty even asked, should I get a little bit of or you think I should?
Straight shot or get a little height on this thing.
And I'm happy you guys all kind of went with your gut feeling there. Yeah, well, we wanted to celebrate you.
Yeah.
We've had these in the office, I think, for like a year now. Mm-hmm. So
they're for last year.
This is the right time to do it. How do you feel now that it's been officially published, put out there? All the hay is in the actual barn whenever it comes to this year's Gambler's Guide.
It feels awesome, and it felt awesome to do the Tony Perkis run out.
You had very high, you were doing butt kicks while you were running out.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do the Tony Perkis run out.
Now that you say that, it was very well executed.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. It was a little bit of a deep cut. I don't know if anybody's expecting that. We obviously all thought that was your actual running gait. And I saw D-Butt judging a little bit.
Yeah, it was a little zany.
Yeah, it was.
That's Tony Perkis.
Yeah.
So you nailed that. The book, though. Let's get back.
It's awesome. This year, I think it's a lot better because I started doing this a lot earlier in the year. Last year, when the first one came out, I was kind of putting that off, hoping that everyone would forget that we were doing it. But this year, no. A lot more time spent on it. I feel really good about it. A lot of information in it. There's a lot of moving parts in college football.
Yeah, because there's new faces, new places, new teams. Also, new squads that have money. Texas Tech is entering the conversation in a massive way. Mm-hmm. It's like all these things are – if you didn't pay attention to anything going on in the offseason, I think if you were to read this, you would get picked very quickly.
Yes, yeah. So that was
granted, you got to read through it all. It's a lot.
But like Texas Tech, like using them as an example, like we were seeing like all this spending money stuff. I'm like, is that real? Is it not? And then you go through and you do the research, and they got a guy, Bailey from Stanford, who had like 8.5 sacks last year. Is an absolute freak. They brought in like 4 offensive linemen who were starters last year at other places and all conference guys. So it's like they spent their money well. They're returning 11 guys on defense. Texas Tech may be a real team.
Yeah, and you learn that in the Gambler's Guide. These are things that like early in the season as the books. And once again, if you're going to gamble, you should do it with the amount of money that is safe for you to lose.
Yes.
Like we just want, as people that have been through the gambling entire experience, and what he's putting in there is not a guarantee. You put your records from last year in there, like, hey, this is what we did last year. There is losses in there.
Oh, yeah.
We got this wrong. So none of this is saying, hey, if you read this, you're going to be a great gambler. There's a chance, though.
Yeah.
But also, none of it
will
be my fault. Like last year, I liked
classic gambling.
I liked Virginia Tech. Okay, because they had a lot of returning.
I read this thing, and you had me running through a wall for Virginia Tech on game day. Hey!
And it didn't turn out.
And then they're going to come running out, and they got like 20 returning starters.
Bingo.
Yeah, I was reading. I read the Gambler's Guide.
Linemen, everyone, and when you look, I went back and I looked at their season last year because that's part of it. I recap last year a little bit and where things went wrong. They had 6 one-score games that they lost. That could have been completely the other way. We could have been right on Virginia Tech.
Long ball.
And they got robbed by Miami.
Exactly.
That was part of it.
Controversy.
They got beat week 1, double overtime to Vandy. Yeah. Who thought Vandy was going to be good? Nobody.
No.
Arizona State last year was supposed to finish last in the Big 12. So, things happen.
Did you see their training camp, Arizona State?
That looks so cool.
Yeah, I did.
So cool out there.
Kidding me?
He's talking about what? Didn't he say I want to bring back the Paradise to the Valley or something like that? I forget what it was. The coach. How old is the coach over there?
Oh, I can't mid-30s.
Yeah, 35, I think.
And he's awesome.
Awesome. And he's from there, I think. It's like a full-on thing. And they got money. They got a little bit of money, which is a big part of the entire story. And speaking of money, only $9.99 you can get an entire breakdown of what college football could beat us. Now, we did double the price.
Hey, you have to.
I will.
Twice as much information.
Inflation, tariffs, twice as much.
I mean,
and tariffs. We didn't even. We could have.
Yeah. Lucky this thing's not $99.99.
Yeah, there's a chance. Now, I do think we are in a stage of life where people would see $4.99 and $9.99 and view them as the same thing, which I don't think is good. Back in the day, every dollar used to think. So we should get back to that point at this point. But with that being said, $9.99, you're getting at least $11.99 worth of information.
No doubt.
You're winning by $2, at least $11.99. Don't you think?
Yes.
Maybe even $14.99 worth of information.
Take the best bet.
Let's not get crazy. Let's see how everything in there goes this year, and we'll see how it. But
$10 bet on the best bet.
You take the best bet for $10, $100, $1,000. I mean, I trust Tony with all my money when it comes to gambling because he's a good gambler.
See, that's what we're saying, the exact opposite.
But I give out like 30. I think it's like 32 or 33 team total over unders that I feel good about, and people just for that would probably spend people are out paying for picks all the time. They would spend just $10 for that. But I did do it right before we ran out. You do it, you buy it, $9.99 on the site, and then you get an email from store.patmcafeeshow.com, and there's a download link right there that you can download the PDF.
Much easier than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
To be clear, whenever we went down this voyage, we thought it was going to be terrible. We thought it was going to be very difficult, which all your research is what it is. That is very difficult work. You put a lot of time into it. I appreciate you. You love college ball, and all the info that you put out is great. We thought the logistics behind it of downloadable and how this whole thing
tough.
Worked out well, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Phil in the store out there. That's incredible work. And also, shout out to D-Bone putting together all the graphics.
And Dirty did as well.
Okay, Dirty joined us.
Yep.
Hey, baby, Dirty.
Yeah, boys.
Thank you, Dirty. We appreciate the hell out of that. And we're going to give away your picks. I don't think we should do that. I think we should give
buy it. Buy the book.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple days.
It's in the book.
Yeah.
It is in the book. All right, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, the author of the Need to Know Gambler's Guide for the 2025-2026 college football season, AP Dahn.
Hey, baby, Tone.
Thank you, boys.
Author Tone. All right, so you guys want to switch?
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, kid.
Go on, boys.
This is a special seat, though.
Yep.
I mean, we thought
Next
that-
year, third annual.
Yeah, that's right.
Get you. Hey, have we ever confettied somebody?
No.
We're proud of you. Aren't we?
Yeah, without a doubt.
And it is serious. Great information in there for gambling.
Quotes to that kind of back up. We're not doing it.
Yeah, not worth it. We'll just pound them over here.
That was really efficient, boys. I think we thought that's how long that was going to take. Mm-hmm. Really good work.
Jeez Louise. You guys still have feet?
Welcome back home, D-Butch.
Thanks, man.
Good to see you. An author was sitting in that seat just moments ago.
Still feel the aura in. Left is sig here, too. I might hit.
Whoa. Oh.
Thank you.
Here's a photo from the celebration. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
That's how you celebrate an
That's
author.
perfect.
That's right.
You know how you should celebrate, maybe?
How's that?
With an ice cold Dr. Pepper,
That's
baby.
right. Yeah, definitely a Dr. Pepper. You should have that. All right, now that we're back, let's do a little football talk before Brandon Beane joins us. Shout out to Dr. Pepper, the official
Soft drink.
Of Fansville?
and now the Thunderdome drink. I think it's official drink of fans.
Official drink.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen. Just look at that.
Shit.
Yeah, it's right in front of our face. Shout out to Dr. Pepper. We love you. There's 45 of them consumed before the show to celebrate this. We're trying to connect with Mr. Beane right now, general manager of the Buffalo Bills. Mr. Beane, by the way, phenomenal series of things. Big brain on that particular gentleman, just like on Brandon Beane and this entire thing. Let's start chit-chatting a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers Cam Hayward issue.
Yeah.
More things have kind of come to light to our brains about the Cam Hayward situation. So I guess it wasn't like a new contract last year whenever he re-signed this entire thing. It was basically like a salary cap gymnastics restructuring of the contract. So last year they just kind of reshuffled some money. Now granted, they gave him more money guaranteed at that exact point. So they certainly gave him more money. Tom Brady started this, I think, back whenever he was with the Patriots, really the first guy to get a front-loaded contract or restructure the contract to get a guaranteed payday so they can kind of separate that amount of money over the remaining years of the contract as opposed to a salary cap hit each year that it is. So it's a little salary cap gymnastics. I guess that's what they did for Cam Hayward last year. And he has chit-chatted about how when I go all pro, I'd like us to actually do this again in its entirety. I'm intrigued by the reaction because in the offseason, Cam Hayward did say to Aaron Rodgers, you either want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't.
Yes.
Verbatim.
So now, you see, everybody in Pittsburgh is, not everybody, a portion of Pittsburgh and Yinzers are like, hey, Cam, you either want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or not. AP Tone, I will go to you, fresh off author book being released.
Yep.
The new information being us finding out about it being a restructure last year as opposed to a new contract. Does that change anything you think in anybody's minds? How do you think people are reacting to Cam Hayward, who his entire family beloved in Pittsburgh, very beloved. But this is the type of thing that Yinzers do not love. I don't think any blue collar town loves this type of thing, especially because the numbers that they see whenever they're hearing about what athletes are making. And remember, these guys all play in high school. They would die playing. I pay to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So whenever this type of stuff always gets ugly, it does get kind of ugly in these types of towns. What are your thoughts on the Cam Hayward switch?
There's two sides to it. There's the fans who are like, it's Cam. He is one of three guys who's had 30 sacks from the defensive tackle position in the last 4 years. Quinnen Williams and DeForest Buckner being the other two. Quinnen is making $24 million a year, and DeForest is making $23 million a year, which is about at least $9 million more than what Cam is making this year. So, as far as play on the field, he deserves more money. But then there's the other side of the ball, and there are some Yinzers in this where they're like, hey, you were at the negotiating table last year, and you put your name on a contract last year, a year ago. Now, if it was a handshake deal, which we've been talking about a lot, about making All-Pro, and then they would come back and revisit it, a lot of people were saying his agents should have probably put that in the deal. So there's two sides to it. At the end of the day, I think the Steelers have the money to get a deal done, and I think Cam deserves to be paid more just by,
especially if he's just pissed off. This is a guy you'd like to just keep at. This guy is coach.
Yeah, and he has been the heart and blood of that Steelers defense for a long, long time. So, yeah, I hope they get it done quickly.
Well, congrats to all parties over there if they get that deal done. And also congrats to, why not the Indianapolis Colts? We'll sign Cam Hayward.
Why not?
Trey Mendy.
Put him right next to No one. Got big growth.
Yeah, put him in too. We'll run we'll 5 Dahn.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
3 big guys. Middle of the pocket's going to be a problem for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Always room for an All-Pro.
Joining it, legit. 4-time All-Pro.
All-Pro on the field and off the field.
And you can get
in the locker room.
Absolutely.
Walter Payton Man of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably flip one of them for KJ Hamler, too.
Love
Get your new favorite player.
Well, joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who has KJ Hamler on his squad. And fresh off a brand new scooter, I think KJ Hamler, not just fast on the field, also off the field. He's not the only one on the field for this particular team. Look out for James Cook returning to practice for the Buffalo Bills because he got a deal done. With who? Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, friend of the program. Brandon Beane.
Hey. Nobody beats your intros, Pat. Nobody. I love it.
You're Oprah right now, brother. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. You get a new deal. $1.26 billion in deals this offseason. I want to let you know, thank you for rewarding your guys. In-house guys as well. How great did it feel to get James Cook's deal done? Because I learned on Hard Knocks that he was the first ever hold-in that you've had throughout your stint up there in Buffalo. But not just James Cook, this entire offseason. How does it feel to get all of this done with your pillars, basically?
No, it's been good. Our ownership, the Pagulas are unbelievable, Pat. They just they love the motto, the mantra that we have, which is draft, develop, and re-sign our own. And there's you feel like a proud dad when you are able to see these guys be rewarded for their success, not only on the field. Obviously, that's why we drafted them and tried to help develop them, but just being pillars in the community. You were talking about it earlier. This is a blue collar town, just like Pittsburgh, and they love their Buffalo Bills, and so it's fun to see these guys be rewarded.
Let's talk about James Cook just a little bit. Did you guys have an understanding that a deal was always going to get done? So, TJ Watt in the Pittsburgh Steelers had a little thing going on, but every insider was like, a deal's going to get done, a deal's going to get done. James Cook doing the hold-in. Was it always just assumed from your end that a deal something was going to get worked out? Or, how did we get to the point where a deal actually gets done? Are you constantly working on a deal while he's there so it's not, completely uncomfortable? Take me to the situation here while the hold-in was happening and what was happening behind the scenes potentially.
Yeah, listen, I would say Jimbo and I had a lot of dialogue through this process. We tried to get something done in the spring when we were doing the other guys. It didn't work. We pushed pause and just said, we'll see if we can circle back later in the summer. So we started talks again once camp got started. And, he started practicing. Those guys, maybe they didn't feel like it was, where they wanted it to be, which, was unfortunate. But we wanted him to continue practicing, and so we kind of pushed pause until we were able to get him back on the practice field yesterday. And then once we did that, I give Zach Hiller and Kevin Meegank on my staff a lot of credit. They worked into the night last night to try and get this thing to the finish line, and we're excited it's here. So to answer your question, no, it was not known that this would get done. I wanted to see James get rewarded, but as you see, we've doled out a lot of cash this year, and we've got to make a lot of things fit with the cap and what those constraints are. And he obviously had to have a deal that he was happy about, and sometimes those can be hard and not fun. But James is such a great kid. He loves ball. He's competitive, and even though he wasn't in practice every day, he was very attentive in meetings and engaged with his teammates. So I do respect that part of it.
I love to hear that, because that means at some point James Cook was told, hey, you could probably make more money if we continue and go somewhere else and do that. But with everything that's happening around us, this is a great situation. This is a deal that can happen. Anytime that both sides have to give a little bit, you probably didn't want to do it. That's whenever a strong deal can take place, because it feels like both sides actually committed to each other, right? Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah. No, I mean, most good deals, there's a little pain on both sides. You got to give a little, and you kind of, here's some things that we just can't move on. Here's some things that they have to have in the deal, and you kind of strike those off, and then you kind of find those things. All right, you give me this, I'll give you a little bit of that, and we just kind of start checking those off, and that's kind of where we got to by dinner time, and it got wrapped up about 11 o'clock last night.
That's awesome. Congratulations to all parties over there. We're watching Hard Knocks. How do you feel about it? I think you're coming across very cool. I think you look very cool in that thing. Even whenever you're watching film with the owner in last night's scene, I think the way you held the cowboy was pretty good. I think watching the thumb go back and forth, very natural. I think you should feel good. How has it been having your life be documented here?
Do I need to change anything with the cowboy?
No.
Switch hands? No. Go with it.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, because because you can tell quickly. I think whenever somebody has one of those, like me, you put me on one, I'm not gonna be the smoothest. Like I'm not the most film savvy guy. But then you put some dogs on there. You get like D-Butt on that thing. You get like coaches on that thing. It's like, oh, this is their controller. This is their video game controller. They're playing Guitar Hero on this fucking thing. So it's like it was nice to see that. But how has it been to have Hard Knocks there? I think you guys have come off very likable. And I know that's probably your culture, but I think everybody kind of has.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you first get the call back in May that we're going to be on it, you're like, oh, gosh, I don't, how invasive is that going to be? Our number one goal in training camp is to prepare this team for, a 17-game season and hopefully a ticket to the playoffs. That's what all 32 are trying. And so, you're kind of like, and then you start asking questions. So we had some meetings with the Hard Knocks folks in early June, and we laid out our goals of what we're open to, and we listened to them, things that have worked, asked some questions of other teams, just tried to learn as much as we could about it. And I give them credit. They listened to some of the things that we felt would be a little invasive, a little uncomfortable. But just like a deal with James Cook, hey, we'll give you a little bit of access here if you can just help us protect. We don't want to be releasing players on film. This is their livelihood, and I've just never been a fan of that. And I just think these guys work so hard to, I don't think any of us want to see I'm getting called in, and whatever, line of work you're in, you're being called in to be relieved of your duties. I think that's a line that I'm uncomfortable crossing. So there were some conversations like that, but I give the crew credit. They've really listened to our staff, and that's what we said. Let's work together and let's make this a win-win for both sides.
The NFL Films people are supremely talented. We are big fans of what they got going on. Now, obviously, the access, because they are like the 33rd team, is unprecedented to anybody else, but what they do with it is remarkable. And your team looks good, man. I enjoy your team. KJ Hamler, by the way, we need to find a spot for him in the locker room. This guy is hysterical, naturally. Very, very hilarious. Listening to you guys chat about his football abilities, also great, obviously. Go ahead, D-Budge.
Yeah, I love him. Great vibes. But sticking in that room, you obviously have Shakir there, who you took care of, you paid. Keon Coleman, who we expect a big jump for this year. Where are you right now? How do you feel about the state of that wide receiver room? And, I'll stop there.
Yeah. Shakir got his ankle in our scrimmage a couple of weeks ago, so he's going to be out for the rest of the preseason, but he's progressing well. So hate not having him out there, but we're at least happy to know he should be ready to roll for the regular season. Keon, I think, has had a good camp. As you said, he's ascending talent. I see him and Josh, continuing to work on their rapport and get the chemistry, all the various throws that you make to a bigger target like that. Elijah Moore we brought here, Josh Palmer, today at practice. Oh, Josh had a really good practice. He and our quarterback connected a lot. And we've got some other guys, KJ Hamler, Tyrell Shavers. I mean, you keep naming LaVisca, Chenault. I'm leaving guys out, but we've got a lot of guys competing for the last 3 or 4. I would say the last 2 spots. Special teams DB comes in there well as far as. If you're not starting, when we're in 11 personnel, your top 3, if you're not one of those, are you returning punts? Are you returning kicks? Are you a gunner? Like, we've got to find other roles for you to, so we can have you on the 48.
Yeah, we need you out there. Okay, we need you. If you're not out there on the punt team, you're not going to be on the team, which is why I used to give speeches to young guys that I thought were great gunners, great special team. Hey, you need to learn this defense, okay? All they're saying is you don't know what the hell you're doing. You need to learn what the hell you're doing so that we can have you on special teams, buddy. Okay, you're really good at special teams. They say you suck on defense. I need you to get better over here. And also, let's start picking up water bottles for people. We need you. I'm like campaigning for people, lobbying for people, because special teams is a lot of ways into the NFL for a lot of guys, and they have no idea that's the case. Do you try to explain that to guys? Does McDermott explain? Does Coach explain that to people? How is that message kind of delivered?
Yeah, we definitely do it. We emphasize it, especially to the young guys in June. The rookies and those young players. Like, if you are not a starter, you better find a role on special teams, and if not, you're going to have a hard time making the team. And even if you make the team, you're probably going to be inactive on game days until guys in front of you get injured. And there's so many guys that we've pointed to that have made it as a special teamer that later developed as either an offensive player or a defensive player. If they had not been that good on special teams, I mean, shoot, I remember, you go back to Steve Smith in Carolina. Steve was a 3rd-round pick. He returns his very first kickoff. We're playing Minnesota in 2001. He returns it for a touchdown, and he was a dynamic punt returner, but we were rarely using him on offense the first couple of years. It was his 3rd season when he kind of took off as a receiver and started ascending, but who knows if he had never been, an all-pro returner, if he would have gotten the looks at receiver.
Robert Mathis, I think, started his career as kickoff guy.
Terrell Davis.
123 sacks later. Terrell Davis, TD. Antonio Brown was a nightmare of a returner.
Now Turpin, yeah.
I mean, you're right. Hey, special teams, beautiful place, baby. It's an absolutely beautiful place. Let's go to...
Well, especially with the kickoff rule this year. Like, the kickoff's going to change. You're not going to want a lot of touchbacks because it's at the 35, so... the kickoff is truly going to be back in the game. I think there's going to be a lot more than previous seasons, and that's going to be a major change this year, I think, for special teams.
Is that good for you or bad for you in Buffalo?
I think it's fine as long as we do a good job and that we have the right personnel out there, because it's, like I said.
I'm saying weather-wise. You think that's good or bad? I think weather-wise, if everybody's not kicking touchbacks, I think that's good for you guys. Yeah. Because not that Bass doesn't have a big leg, but there's going to be 10 inches of snow for 4 of the games up there.
Well, the wind becomes more of a factor up here than honestly the snow.
So damn cool. I played in a blizzard up there last game of the year, my rookie year. Needed to have a 44-yard average. Needed to have 1 inside the 20 to hit an escalator for $1 million in my 3rd year. And we get out there. All the boys are on the bench because we're already in the playoffs. Remember, Bill Polian decided to rest everybody. All the vets were pissed. That game. It was a full-on blizzard. And it was the biggest day of my life. It was literally the biggest day of my life. Like, I got to have a good game up here for $1 million. There's $1 million on the line right now. That is how
a lot of punts?
Yeah. We had some turnovers, too, thank God.
Did you get it? Did you get the $1 million?
Beane, if you were to just...
I mean, I assume, though, but this is probably the last place you want to be kicking to get $1 million.
Agreed completely. But, I got it. There's $1 million. Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark having the time of their lives on that sideline. That was when Peyton Manning handed out 45 wristbands and said there was game worn every single one. Put them on, walked over, handed them to a kid.
Game worn.
Had them on, was handing them off. There was conversations going on about how much fun everybody's having a blast. Everybody's having a good time. We're losing this game. Who cares? Let's keep it moving. And I'm in the biggest. Please. There's $1 million on the line.
Super Bowl.
This is the biggest day of my entire life. But once again, the people of Buffalo showed up. which is why I appreciate you guys keeping that shit a little bit open on that new stadium. Now, the boys have some questions on personnel. I'm going to ask about the new stadium. How are we doing? Right. How are the Bison? How are the Bison? How are we doing?
We're still growing those bison, so they're still in the lab. But we're trending well. It's gonna be awesome. I promise you.
Every picture or video that we get from the update or whatever, this place is gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I can't not wait to go up there and see a game, brother.
It's gonna be so. I mean, for this city to get this stadium, it's gonna be a masterpiece. I mean, I've only been in there a couple of times since, but I'm blown away, every time I'm over there.
The aerial photo of it being right across the street from the stadium you guys are in now is such a good selling piece for any team that's looking to get a new stadium. Like, hey, look at what stadiums used to be and look what they can be now. And it's literally right across the street in the same photo for you guys. It is, if we could find that photo.
So much bigger.
It is just so bigger. I mean, it's just beautiful. All the technology advancements that you can have since the last time stadiums have been built. It's this is going to be good for the entire city, even though the city is helping. It is going to be good for the entire Buffalo Bills faithful. Bills, I don't know what the
Mafia.
Bills Mafia.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Come on. Come on, Pat. You okay?
Getting back into it. Getting back into it.
See this tan?
Preseason.
You see this tan?
Preseason.
I've been on the damn islands. That's on me. I am so sorry, Bills Mafioso. La Cosa Nostra. I would never, ever want to offend. Here's the photo that I was referring to. Yeah. It's this is the selling point here. If you're another city trying to get it and pitch it, it's on the far corner there. Here, you see. That is what yesterday looked like.
Yeah.
This is tomorrow. Okay, let's just go ahead and try to do that. It's just I can't wait. Your fans have certainly deserved it. Okay, let's talk about the team a little bit. You have gone, seemingly. Okay, I know you probably don't like that. You say we go all in every year is what every general manager says. We spend all the money we can spend every single year. We're going all in every single year. But this is the year, off-season year, where you had to make a lot of massive decisions, and you did. There's one that's kind of snuck under the radar in this entire thing. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, to that point being, I think it was a month ago, there was a viral tweet that was holy shit, I forgot Joey Bosa's on the Bills this year. And it has kind of snuck under the radar. How has Joey been, and how do you expect him to be for that defense this year?
Yeah, it's been good to have Joey. He missed some of the spring. He was dealing with a calf, but he's had a good camp. We've tried to, make sure we're ramping him up, but not beat him up too bad. And he's done a great job. He's got a good presence. You can see the rush in there, and I'm excited for what he's going to bring to our defense. And we've got some, we drafted, some young guys on the D-line. We signed a couple other guys. So it's been fun to just have his presence. Obviously guys respect his game and what he's done. And no, you're right. It hasn't been talked about a lot. And I know Joey's out to prove. He's battled a couple of injuries the last couple of seasons, but he's out to prove that he still got it, and he wants to help, do it here in Buffalo. He played, his college career in Ohio State, and I think he's alluded to a couple times. This feels like, more like college town, college feel, blue collar, like kind of getting him back. He was obviously in LA for a while, different lifestyle. So it's been fun to see him kind of re-energized.
Your camp is cool. Getting a chance to watch it through Hard Knocks is a cool setup. It does feel very similar to what Latrobe feels like for Pittsburgh, for the Steelers, and the fans embracing training camp and everything like that. It is, it's been really cool to watch how you guys do it. And also, you're a team that can go for a Super Bowl. And every team can go for a Super Bowl, of course.
No, it's not real.
D-Butts doesn't think every team can go for a Super Bowl.
It's only about 6.
Okay, well, if D-Butts' case, what he's saying and what I'm saying, you guys are going for a Super Bowl, and you're on Hard Knocks. We're watching it it's cool. It doesn't happen a lot like that with Hard Knocks. So it's we appreciate you guys letting him in there. Now, one of the stars, obviously, early has been the MVP. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Brandon, I think if you're not a Bills fan and you're watching Hard Knocks, some people would look at Josh Allen, and obviously everyone knows how talented he is, but it's this guy's so jovial, so happy, kind of happy-go-lucky almost. And then we hear the stories come out how he's voted, the number one shit talker in the league, and he obviously flips a switch and everything. But how evident is it, with his off-field demeanor and his on-field demeanor? Is it you guys notice on Sundays or Thursdays or Mondays, holy shit, this guy actually is a different human being when he's inside the lines?
Yeah, he's all those things. You nailed it perfectly, Ty. He's a jovial dude. He loves to practice. He loves to compete. He is a jokester. You should see some of the celebrations these guys do in practice. trying not to laugh. I'm trying to be an adult sometimes. Which is hard for me,
well, he also got Phyllis on Bus with the Boys. Yeah. Jokes. We have a good time. Yeah. I understand.
He's full of them. But even like today, for example, when the defense picks a ball off, even if it's not against him, sometimes he's on the sideline. And it happened today, and the defender. Our rule is the defender, no matter how far you pick it off, you got to take it back the other way. And so one of our linebackers picked one off today in practice. It wasn't against Josh. And so as soon as the guy got by him, Josh chases him down, punches the ball out, and the whole offense goes crazy. So it's like
hold on to the ball.
The guy just made a hell of a play, and now he's getting abused by his teammates because he got the ball punched out. And that's Josh though. He loves to do it. I fuss at him for it. I'm like, dude, if you freaking pull doing that, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, but that's like hilarious football guy shit because all anybody's talking about is Josh punching that ball out. And it doesn't matter if the whistle's dead.
Nope.
In training camp, I was trying to punch balls out. I'd be on a sideline with Vinny. Mm-hmm. Somebody would catch the ball down the sideline. I'm going immediately for a punch. It's like the number one rule. Like, don't drop. If you have the ball is the program. Do not drop the ball, even if the whistle's dead. That's like a training camp thing. The fact that Josh Allen's chasing people down when he's not on the field to punch it out, he's like a child out there.
Yeah.
Got a joy, like a childlike joy for the sport of football. But then he's voted, to Ty's point, the biggest shit talker whenever he goes on the field. He looks like a guy who could be president from what I'm watching and how everybody loves him. And on the field, he's an absolute dog. It's like you got the guy. Is that why you had so much belief after year one, maybe, year two? It's like, hey, it's all in there, and he's the right guy. There has to be some of that you're seeing now.
No doubt. His personality reminds me a lot of Luke Kuechly. Luke was obviously on defense, but the quarterback of the defense in Carolina. And Luke, like, you can try all day to get Luke to say a curse word outside the lines. Like, he's one of those guys. I've seen him, like, pick up a water bottle on the sideline and hand it to a trainer that another player dropped. It's like, dude, like, I can't believe you're focused on that. But he crosses the line, and you've heard him on some of the mic'd up things. Like, it's like he blacks out or something. We used to laugh at it. And I think Josh is a little bit that way. He gets in the white lines and he just blacks out and goes into a different mode.
Who was that? Some guy was maybe the Dolphins. Somebody was talking to him, and he stopped and looked at the guy's last name, and then he just kept walking. It was like so subtle. Just buried that guy. Just absolutely murdered him because
he's so witty.
Just so quick.
He's crazy. Yeah, I'm scared that honestly when he comes up to talk or ask you a question, you literally freeze because you're scared he's setting you up for some. He's going to get you. And so I have to sometimes say, are you serious? Like, are you serious? No, I'm serious. And even half those times when he finally gets you in, then he still, pulls some kind of prank.
Yeah, I'm serious is a part of the thing. Yeah. Of course, have to sell it that way. Yeah, have to sell it. And he's got 1,500 acres now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And a big-ass farm in comparison to out there in California or something like that? Yeah, I mean, you got a cowboy, a farmer, a guy who could be president, obviously married to
Academy Award winner.
Yeah, and it's like, and then he's voted, and he's the MVP of the NFL. Mm-hmm. He's what everybody's looking for, and he's voted the biggest shit talker. Like, that is my favorite. Like, that is, I love that all that can coexist.
Hey, he won the sportsmanship last year too. After being voted the biggest shit talker. I don't know how that comes together, but
congrats, dude! Let's talk about an award you're probably going to win, Executive of the Year, especially if you guys get rolling. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Beane, it's a pleasure to see you. You're looking tan. Glad to know that you are aware that it takes more than an offensive line to block out the sun. But when you're looking at what you have done,
great line from Coach McDermott.
Fantastic. I'm sure that commercial is going to be amazing. But when you look at the deals you have done, Brandon, the Josh one was early. A few others were very early. I believe Benford was as well. And then now, James is kind of the last to get done. When you look at these deals, how important is it for you kind of getting ahead of what the market is going to turn into? And then when it comes to forecasting deals you have to make, a guy like Dalton Kincaid going into his third year where you have to kind of decide on the fifth year after this one. Are you thinking and trying to project what the tight end market will be to try and figure out what his contract will be? Do you wait and see how the performance is? How does that kind of work on your end?
Yeah, with all players. I mean, like anything, after their third year is the first opportunity you can extend them, and sometimes you want to see more, and sometimes you're like, no, this fits. And then sometimes you're like, yeah, I would like to extend them, but their markets, I can't afford what their market is, and just based on where you are currently in that year. And so we made a lot of tough decisions, as you guys know, last year when Pat told me
all of our friends
told me he got cut all of his friends. But part of that was in preparation, getting a year ahead of this, knowing that we had some guys that we thought we would want to extend that were trending in the right direction. And so, and again, it takes two. Like these guys, I respect these guys a lot because, of course, as was said earlier, they could have tried to say, hey, I want to play it out and test it. Yeah, I want to stay here, but I want to see if I can run the meter up and how bad do you want me, or I can go to the highest bidder. And they've earned that right. You understand that. So it means a lot to me and our organization and the Pagulas and Sean McDermott as well, that these guys, hey, we love it here. We like how you're treating us. We like how we're being developed, and we want to stay here and hopefully continue our career. Hopefully we can keep them all in Buffalo as long as their career lasts. That time will tell on that. But you're constantly looking 2 and 3 years out, to your point, on whether it's franchise tags, fifth-year options, players that you've pushed you've kicked the can down the road. What do you need to do with them? Do you need to restructure? Do you need to extend? All those conversations we're having. Things can change. Injuries can happen. Guys can get past that you thought you might be extending, and you're like, they haven't kind of hit that next level. So they're kind of written in pencil more than pen at this point.
So fascinating, all of it, especially with what's happening around the league. Do you look at it? Obviously, all the other drama happening around. You've told us yes in the past because you might snoop around. Now you can't really at this point with how much money you've spent into the salary cap at this particular situation. Maybe you just looked at me and said, if there's a right situation, we can still do some nose.
I'm about to get in these couch cushions right here and see if we got anything.
Hey, get some duct tape. Try to find the crumbs down there. Yeah, I understand. But you are because I think getting the deal done early is what from our coverage, from us just having to talk about everybody's drama. It feels like getting a deal done a year early is much better than getting a deal done either on time or a year late. Just seemingly from the drama in the inevitable. How many millions was it?
For the Cowboys,
it's like 49 or 64 million altogether.
64 total, yeah, exactly. 50 million with Dak because they did the franchise tag and then extended him, and then the next extension was late as well, so it got ran up, and then 15 million with CD Lamb.
Yeah, 14.9 or something.
Yeah,
whatever the money is. And now, granted, these are all just like Monday morning quarterbacking, obviously, in this whole thing. Yeah. And in the moment's vastly different, but it does feel like we're in a time where you have to pick who your guys are going to be and almost just tell them with money early. Do you think that's becoming a trend around the NFL, or do you think the NFL would try to make sure, hey, we pay you when these deals are done? Like, how do you think this is all going to be navigated going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I think it like anything, it takes two to get a deal done, and some of these players that maybe, and I can't speak for them. I don't know. You'd have to ask the player or the agent, but maybe some of these players truly just want to see what's out there, and yes, they like it there, but they also feel like they can make a lot more. And again, that's why I say I respect a lot of what our guys did. They didn't want to test the market. They were happy with the numbers we were able to get them, and I think that's always going to be the case. I think you're going to find teams that are able to find guys that enjoy being where they're at. They're happy with the money that you're offering them, and they're not trying to see if they can get another $1 million, $2 million, whatever that is, in free agency to pack up and move their family to another city. And I think that's the case. Sometimes you see guys and maybe they don't love it there. Maybe they don't love their coach. Maybe they don't love their situation. And then there's just guys that they want to just see. They're like, hey, you know what? I'm 6 months away. I'm this close. We haven't reached a deal. I just want to play this thing out, which is their right. I respect that.
Yeah, it's interesting, the drama. The NFL is the greatest for us, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much shit.
Love it.
James Cook's holding in up there. Has Beane lost his fastball? Is it all falling apart up there? That wouldn't even seem to be not very drama-filled. That was even like, hey, this is happening, and then you guys get a deal done. That's great news. But I think it's also all these things that you're talking about for your guys. Not only do you find good guys and develop good guys and everything like that, but also you guys are good. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, speaking of drama and narratives kind of outside, quarterbacks obviously got to deal with it, players in the locker room, but as a GM of the Buffalo Bills who has to kind of get over that hump, it's been the Chiefs, and then obviously you have the Ravens out there, but how much do you think about that, I guess, on a day-to-day building your team? Like I said, I know the players are kind of attached to their phones, but how much do you think about that on a day-to-day?
Yeah, I mean, that's what drives us every day. I mean, from once you get over the loss, and they, the further you go in the playoffs, last year we lose in the AFC Championship. We've had a couple of runs there. We've lost in the divisional round, and these games are all coming down to a play here, a couple plays there, a drive, a missed field, whatever the case may be. It's gut wrenching. It's crushing. You got to get over it fast though, and start planning. And again, I think that's the fabric of our team and our organization is, yes, we've come up short, but it's just digging a bigger chip on our shoulder, and that's kind of our mantra here. And yes, we know we haven't achieved what we need to. We've had consistency and continuity, and we've won I think 5 divisions in a row. That's not the ultimate goal. We want to hoist that thing, but we're not going to blow it all up. We're going to keep swinging the sword. We're going to learn from our losses. I think in life, I know me, I've learned way more from my mistakes or where I came up short. And I know that's cliche, but it's the God's honest truth. You got to learn from it, and we're just going to keep kicking the door. And at some point, we got to find a way to kick the door in, Pat.
Yeah, what year was it for Jordan?
8, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
I forget what it was. There's so many different examples of the past of good teams becoming immortalized teams, whenever they break the seal. Hope you guys are able to do that for the good of everybody in Buffalo, including yourself. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. Thank you for joining us in the middle of training camp here.
Appreciate you guys. Always fun to see you guys, and hopefully we'll see you later this season.
Hey, that Pagula cookout, barbecue, house gathering, whatever the hell they call it, that looked really nice. Were you there?
Yeah, he was.
I was there. You know who else was there? Boyko was there.
Dog.
Your guy.
Snuck in.
Boyko's absolute dog. Does Pagula know that Boyko was there? Yeah, that's a good question.
No, he was in the bushes, but he was there.
Vince Carter actually was like, what the hell's going on?
Who's that?
What's going on? You got a weirdo outside. No, he works for the Bills. All right. Shout out Boyko going to the big wig party. You deserve it, buddy. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Buffalo Bills General Manager Brandon Beane.
Yeah.
Golf season's over for him, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He's got a good tan, though. He had a good golf season.
Fantastic tan.
He's an unbelievable golfer.
So good.
What was it, 76, right?
Yeah, but remember, we saw, or was that Orlovsky's?
That was Orlovsky's.
Yeah.
Orlovsky's, we saw a lot of double penciling. You're writing that scorecard pencil for a reason, it feels like, or because it was on the golf cart.
And he added it up wrong.
Yeah, there was and then a change, and then a circle instead of a square. And it's like, what do we do? We're not keeping score?
Not keeping mulligan.
Beane's last 4 holes, remember? I think it was Beane's last 4 holes were like
needed it.
Par, birdie, par, birdie. I think
Stick.
he's a really good player. But to get the bet, I forget how much we had to donate. I forget what it was. Pretty big.
50?
Yeah, I think it was 50 or 100.
Yeah, and we weren't there. So, it's always interesting how we just get screenshots of scorecards. And they say, yep, donate 50 grand. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, you're right. Beane's an honorable guy.
Yes, he is.
Taking care of all his boys. He talked about last year's offseason, which was just
turn that page.
See ya. They had to get to a new team. Mm-hmm. This is their new team. They are now in the era of their new team. You asked about getting over the hump. Do they?
They got to have all the pieces. They got an MVP quarterback, and you got a good team around them. I know if you've been a fan of that organization for a long time, because a lot of you guys probably don't remember, but the 4 years where they lost.
Four falls of Buffalo.
Boy, I love losing the Super Bowl. As a Dolphins fan who didn't win Super Bowls in my lifetime, we would obviously make fun of that. But they got to get over the hump because they're and being that close. He just kind of ran down. We all remember the 13 seconds and then the failed tush push and all these different plays. But when you have that quarterback in place and you got a guy like Brandon Beane running the show, you'll have a chance every year.
You got to get lucky.
Yes.
With injuries.
For sure.
Have to get lucky. Every team does. That's why. Can't stress it enough. What the New England Patriots were able to do for 20-plus years is insane. Yeah. They're absolutely insane. Just because all you need is injury to 1 or 2 of your pillars, 1 or 2 important positions, and all of a sudden you got a brand new team. It's like the Detroit Lions last year. Detroit Lions somehow still remain the #1 team in the NFC.
Brutal.
And we couldn't name 2 players on the defense at the end of the season because everybody got hurt.
Over 20 guys.
All pros.
Yeah.
All on the defense.
I was like Tennessee that one year.
When Vrabes led the Titans. And they lose the Bengals, right, in Tennessee.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, it was 90 active players during that season for them. And to your point there about losing to the Bengals, that's what stings for Buffalo is that, like, the Buffalo, it feels like their circle, like their target is Kansas City. And that 1 year where Kansas City and Buffalo played in the second round and Kansas City won, then, since he goes on to win the AFC Championship, because it feels like that game, the Buffalo KC one every year
is the game.
Balls to the wall. No matter what, that next week, that team's going to be dead, whoever wins.
They really do call it the game. It's like becoming the game.
Yes.
Josh.
It's Brady Patriots and Colts.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Peyton Tom.
Peyton had to get over that hump.
Now, granted, Joe Burrow, though, fans would say, who's the guy that Joe beats him? But do they have a defense?
No, not yet.
Do they?
If
we don't
every
know,
team
right?
has a Tanner McKee on it and they're playing against Cincy, Cincy's in trouble.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, what happened in the first game of the preseason. But the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be an interesting case study on this modern NFL because it feels like what they are doing, lighting up on the offensive side, throwing it, everything like that, obviously paying 2 wide receivers top money, quarterback top money, everything like that. That feels like 6 years ago in the NFL. Okay?
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like everybody is gearing up. Now, that's because the Eagles are champs, but everybody's gearing up. Run game, and it feels like that is what everybody's kind of going. O-line, deal, trenches, and run game. And it's like, I feel like the Bengals will be able to score with anybody, but the other teams might be able to just hold the ball. They might not have a lot of, because that's like the defense gets Patrick Mahomes. How do you beat Patrick Mahomes? Well, you got to keep him off the field. How do you keep him off the field? Well, you control the ball, and then you play good defense if you can. Yeah. It's like teams will be able to potentially do that against this Bengals team, and I think they're just expecting it. I think it's like, we might have to score 50 points to win a game.
We know. We all watch football, been around the game. We know that recipe isn't going to work.
Yeah.
Great offense will not work on any high level of football, especially in the National Football League, even with Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's obviously been great on his run, but Spags has had that defense playing at a high level. When the Bengals beat the Chiefs, Lou had a great game plan for him that they went out there and executed. So defense at some point is going to have to get out there and win you the games. Joe Burrow just had an MVP caliber year last year, and they were fighting and scratching and clawing to make the playoffs, which they didn't. So we know that recipe won't work. And then when you're still doing business, how they're doing it with the guy like Trey, who's been a pillar with their defense, leading the league in sacks, you don't even have this guy suited up yet. Like, you got to get that stuff sorted out. You have to have a chance to have some playmakers on that defensive side of the ball. Joe Burrow is phenomenal, one of the best two-headed monsters at wide receiver, but the recipe in the NFL has never been a win through wide receivers. Look at some of the greatest wide receivers in National Football League history that went and retired without Super Bowls. You got to win the game on the ground, in the trenches, and then your phenomenal quarterback's going to have to make some big
those plays. Your wide receiver's going to have to make plays for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, quarterback wide receiver's going to have to make plays for you, but those are in moments.
Yes.
And in those moments, you got to make them. And it feels like the Bengals will always have those moments offensively where it'll be big, but it's like, in the playoffs, does that matter? We'll see, I guess.
Well, when they went to the Super Bowl, of course you have to pay Joe, you have to pay Jamar, but they were on rookie deals, so they had money on the defense. That's when Jesse Bates was there.
He was like almost MVP.
He was all pro, yeah. He was unbelievable. Like, they had guys and money to spend. And obviously you have to pay Joe and Jamar. That has to happen, but like, the T. Higgins one, that's why it didn't really make any sense, just because it's like, hey, you do need your number one wide receiver. You need a quarterback. You need, number two. But isn't Burrow almost where Josh Allen is, where it's like, hey, you would hope that your quarterback is going to make the guy that might not be a number two?
No, but they're paying him as a number one. Yeah. They have 2 ones, basically.
Yeah.
And it was very evident that they had 2 ones when they've been playing together. Mm-hmm. And we all assumed business-wise not going to be able to get everybody done. They did on the offensive side. Did they lose Trey Hendrickson? We shall see. Will they be okay with that? Will it work?
No.
All right. We got to get to a break.
Look at the weather in the cities they're going to have to go to. Like, you're not going to win a whole lot of 49, 42 games.
Joe Burrow's from Ohio.
Well, I know he is.
That.
But they can't stop the run, and they can't run it, so.
We'll see. It's a whole new year.
Yeah, you're right.
Anybody's trophy. We'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
Football playoff is obviously in the middle of a transition era, but we go back in time into a movie-like setting to battle in the Big Ten to see who gets to move on and who goes home. Our UFO just flew over top B-2 smoke bomber and in the national anthem. And on a day in the United States of America where a heinous act has happened, it's a nice reminder that we'll get your ass. You might take a shot, but you're never gonna win. 10 for Will Howard. Same exact play action. Drops it off to Jeremiah Smith. With space. He's a monster. Jeremiah Smith. First touch is a touchdown. Time. Shot that middle. And Puka. Ooh, touchdown.
See the split safeties right here. So Will Howard knows his read, looks him off, steps up in the pocket. Great throw.
Takes a shot, and what happens? Jeremiah Smith comes up with the ball. Handoff, run to the left. Jordan James. Ram. Will Howard, time. Oh, no. Jeremiah Smith's wide ass open. That's a touchdown. Ohio State is kicking the living shite out of the Oregon Ducks. If Jeremiah Smith is on your team, I think you can win every game. Travion Henderson. He's at the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown! They can run it. They can spin it. They can kick it. This Buckeyes team is playing football at a level nobody else in the country is playing right now. Gathers a low snap, rolls left, throws back to the right. Jeremiah Smith's on the field, so that's another first down. Thus far, this game has been absolutely shite. Step it. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. You got Matt Hardy on the left there. AJ, chance.
I see it at the 47. Unfortunately, my youngest son puked all over himself, went to the hospital, so my whole family's not here anymore to hear that. No. But I'm getting some updates every once in a while. He seems to be doing not much better. He puked over the whole section. Jeez. Instant urgent care, instant hospital.
Oh, no.
What type of shite was he eating? Is someone making salmon down here? We came down here and smelled like fish.
Look at this.
For those that have never been here, I would recommend coming and checking it out. Although this particular game was absolute shite. Woo!
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
20.
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Author Tone Wednesday, August 13, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now. Football is the greatest sport in the world, and we happen to have a guy who's a two-time author now on college ball. Ladies and gentlemen, available now at store.patmcafeeshow.com is the Need to Know Gambler's Guide for College Ball 2025-2026 edition, obviously. It is $9.99. It is packed with incredibly detailed information to have you ready to go this college football season. Now, whether you're a gambler or not, I think there's a lot of information in there you would love, especially in the ever-turnstile world of college football at the moment. You know, we got new faces, new places, new coaches, new goings, new teams arriving out of nowhere because they have donors that are willing to spend millions and millions of dollars. And that is why the Need to Know Gambler's Guide for College Ball is something that I will read, just like I did last year. I loved last year's. Went back multiple times throughout the entire year, actually, to it. Obviously, I get the incredible opportunity to chit-chat about college football every single weekend on the institution that is College Game Day. But let's go to one half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, AP Tone. How's it feel on this glorious Author Tone Wednesday, pal? You should feel very proud of yourself. We think.
Oh, yeah.
And we would like to say congratulations. No, but congrats, Tone.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do feel proud.
He jumped a little bit.
I Not as much because, I mean, the one you got me right in the face. It felt good, though.
Yeah,
it
it's
felt
confetti.
Proud.
Yeah, come on. It's confetti.
It's a celebration not only of the book and the book being out again, which I never thought I'd ever do in my life, but college football season is here. And, yeah, it's got a ton of information. If you like college football at all, if if you're doing fantasy college football, if you're doing office polls, if you do gamble, or if you just want to know more about any team or in the Power Four. I didn't do the Group of 5. I'd been about 65 more teams.
Sorry about
it.
But it's on there. You say the odds.
Those teams, if you think like Power 4 teams rosters changed, the Group of 5 rosters, those are just getting
they're minor league, brother.
Bingo.
I mean, that is literally what it's becoming. That is exactly what it is. It is. That's why you just got to hope if your team's in one of those, you have a class that'll come in, stay committed, maybe change your entire team, your institution, your university, your entire setting in there. That's what we're hoping for at West Virginia. Like in West Virginia, we are hoping. We're in the Big 12. Obviously, you win, you get in the tournament. It's a great place to be. We're in a great conference. But there's a lot of these schools are going to become, like C.J. Donaldson is already at Ohio State. He's running back out of West Virginia. And it's like we have a hard-nosed coach. We're going to have to find a class that's going to come in there, take over, do well, get paid at a West Virginia rate as opposed to one of these other places. And then all of a sudden our school hopefully becomes a school that starts taking from other places. And that is the reality of the situation. Because if you're a great player at a smaller school in Texas, Texas Tech, Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, you name it. The schools that were at Texas Tech is like real deal in this thing. And they will be for as long as this is kind of the game. Any place that has massive donorship is going to be in the game here for a while. And it's like learning all that shit in these smaller schools, ending up players making millions of dollars. Start out making $10,000 at a place. Have a great season. Somebody sees you. You get in the transfer portal. All right, we have a 2-year, $1 million offer or a 4-year, $1 million offer. It's like lives are changing from those smaller schools, but those smaller schools are going to have to figure out how to develop, or they're always going to be a feeder program.
It's kind of like what happened with college basketball we saw, where that FAU team that went to the Final Four 2 years ago or 3 years ago. This year, there was a player from that team that was on every single Final Four team. Like the Chanticleers, Coastal Carolina. Remember when they were the 16th or 15th team? Like those guys, I bet if you were to go back and look at the players on that team who played, I bet most of them transferred. Like that kid, Willie Lampkin, who the next AQ Shipley that we said went to North Carolina, started at Coastal, like made a name for himself, got good, did 1 year at North Carolina, then goes to the league. So it's like, hey, for me personally as a casual, hey, that's a guy who went to North Carolina, ACC. But in reality, he's a Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, and that's where he made his name for himself.
On the teal field, brother.
Exactly, on the teal field. Like all those type of schools, it feels like, that used to be those sweet, like, oh, wow, Coastal Carolina is 20th in the country. It's like if that does happen, then you're going to see all those guys from that 20th team, unless it's a Rich Rod situation, who come in their freshman year.
9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler shaking his head.
That's crazy.
Hey, it's cold world.
It's a cold game. It's kids. They just turned into. We see them commit now. They're like professional athletes at that point. We what was the guy's name yesterday?
Jake Krull.
Jake named his team of like 10 to 12, 15 people going into college. So once you get there and you have that year, he's going to a big time school. So hopefully he's
already done that.
It's like coaching.
He did that.
I know. So those are the guys you expect to be, one helmet guys in college now. Now it's kind of going to be those guys going into college. It's crazy. Who was it with the Rams? Les Snead was talking about all the guys that he drafted. They started basically on a lower level of college and then transferred up and
hungry,
then got drafted. It's crazy. It's going to be tough for those schools who aren't in that group of 4.
That's an incredible.
Power 4 was
what is that? Psychology or sociology? I don't know what it would be. Psychology, I guess. Him saying we want the guys that 1-star, right? We want the 1, 2-star guys that made a name for themselves because we know they will always have a chip on their shoulder. That's some scouting coordinator or some scout walked into the room. It was like, we now have a new opportunity here to get a good read on what a guy's going to be. If they start at Incarnate Word and then they have to work their way through the state of Washington and then they end up at Miami, probably great work ethic, probably somebody who is meeting new people, probably somebody that's going to have a chip on his shoulder and is probably told he wasn't good enough. Coming out of high school, think about these kids. J. Cruel, which we are lucky and honored to be a part of these moments. Anytime that a massive situation happens like that for somebody's life, we're honored to be a part of that. You think Cam Ward, anybody cared what hat he put on coming out of high school?
No.
Nope.
Do you think whenever he was looking around at everybody else getting all the glitz and glamour, he didn't think to himself, I'm better than that motherfucker, I'm better than that I'm better than that guy, I'm better than that guy? So him working his way up, that is an indicator, I think. So them using that whenever it comes to scouting a guy, I think it's a good play. But once again, we are promoting now.
Yeah.
Leaving Incarnate, and like going to, not that you wouldn't anyways, but it's like, that is the reality of what it's going to become. You just got to hope your team has enough money to keep up. Speaking of, joining us now is a man who is part actually the money to keep up.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and one of the biggest donors to the Ohio State University with his annual super duper
cruise.
And his
carnival,
his super duper
the carnival,
Halloween,
backyard carnival.
AJ Hawk, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Hawk, have you heard everything we're saying here about the college football world and having a feeding teams basically? And you just got to hope that if you are a feeding team, that you have enough players in one class in 1 year that you can go on a real run and maybe change things, or you got to hope that you just get a group of dudes that just want to stick together and build a program. That feels like where we're potentially headed right now, AJ.
I think that's definitely where we're headed. And think about some of these kids that are coming out of high school. Like, you're hearing kids getting offered freshman, sophomore year, like so early. Think about those kids that think they're a five-star, that are talented, but they don't get offered by these big-time Division I schools. Right? They're going to go somewhere and, there's somebody, some parent or coach saying, hey, don't worry. Hey, you go to, any kind of mid-level school.
Don't say it. You were about to say, year. Don't you even.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
I wasn't going to say I had no schools in mind. I really didn't. But I'm saying, think about it. Go there. You have one good year. Work your balls off. Guess what? You're going to get called up from the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Florida State, whoever the school is you want to go to. West Virginia. Rich Rod's going to call you up. So, that's part of it now, too, I think.
Yeah, it's a good sell. And also, I bet you that some of the coaches on those teams are saying, hey, you're going to play here, okay? You're going to have an opportunity to do really well for yourself. And there's a chance that literally next year, you're seeing what guys are signing for, that you get that opportunity. We just want to provide you with that. There's some schools that will take advantage of that, I assume. And they're like, you're going to get playing time immediately here. If you go back to Shador and Travis.
Yeah.
They go into Jackson State and they start playing. They take over the entire thing.
Yeah.
Then they take the entire show to Colorado, and just kind of do the. They almost had an entire. They got plucked from a small school, HBCU, to a Big 12 school. The entire operation, not only just the players. We want the entire operation. Bring your social media team up here. Bring the lights and sound people up here. We obviously all the coaches, anything. They plucked the entire thing up there. So it's like, I guess we have seen some situations like that really work out.
Yeah, SIG.
Yeah. But then there's also the flip side of it, too. Like some of those teams, like a Boston College, who is in a power conference, but that is the exact reason why Jeff Hafley, who was their head coach, left and went to go coach in the NFL. He's like, we get four guys who have unbelievable seasons, and they don't even think about coming back. It's just like, get me the hell out of here. I'm not going to the playoff with Boston College. I'll go play in the SEC, or I'll go play at a better ACC school or whatever. So, there are both sides to it.
Yeah, and we would like everybody, all these kids, to remember that when Rich Rod calls from West Virginia, if you're thinking about transferring and get where, that's where you want to be.
Yep.
Okay? If you're tough. If you're not tough, we don't want you. Tough, though. We want you. I got a text from alumni of West Virginia, voice of certain Mountaineers.
Sure.
Old Whitey Williams, Dustin Whitey Williams. And he said, Rich Rod needs to just market tough. We want the toughest dudes. That is who we want to be, the toughest team in America. And I'll tell you, I'll be excited to see how it works out with how Rich is. Just like Coach Rule. I guess Coach Rule's the same way. Coach Rule's like, we're not doing TikToks. We're not doing the whole thing. Like it is, because other places are going to feast on that whenever they're recruiting. Like, hey, have you seen this video? You're going to get yelled at. You're going to do this. So I think these schools are going to have to find their niche, who they are, but also you're going to have money. That's just, end of the day, that's just how it is in college ball.
Yeah, it's just even just thinking about the arc now for players, it's more like coaches. Like coaches, you go to the small school to do well, and then so you can leave the players you recruited to go to a better school to recruit better players, to then leave that school and go to another one, and then maybe you either become a Saban or then you go to the NFL. And for a guy like Jeff Hafley, he might have thought, well, all my players are leaving, and I'm not going to get an offer to be the head coach of Alabama or Ole Miss because I'm the head coach at BC and my team hasn't gotten better because all my good players leave. So instead of doing that, I'll just go to the NFL and then maybe I can go NFL coordinator to NFL head coach instead of head coach of BC to head coach of Bama. And now that's what it is for players getting to the NFL. It's kind of awesome, honestly.
There's two situations this year where guys went from smaller schools, quarterbacks went from smaller schools to bigger schools, and their OC came with them. John Mateer and his OC came from Washington State to Oklahoma, and then Devin Dampier and his OC went from New Mexico UNLV to Utah. So it's like that's like a feeder line too. Like, oh, this quarterback's great. We're going to bring his OC with him too. So
hey, he likes. This was like Cliff Kingsbury was allegedly going to go with Caleb to wherever he was going to go because they knew each other from college or whatever. Joining us now is a man who might have more information on this. To be honest, I don't know his college. I assume it's vast because he loves the draft.
His college alumni or
no, his college could do very well. I think if they wanted to get into the game. From our understanding of said university, I think there's a lot of money floating around that particular school.
100%.
Emmy Award winner, sideline reporter for Monday Night Football, ESPN pundit, friend of the program. He was loafers on the ground yesterday at the Jets and Giants training camp, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, potentially tassels. No socks either. Just oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing better. Great Wi-Fi today. Feeling good.
Yeah, well, not only great Wi-Fi today, you've had a great morning. Hey, you have crushed this morning. And how good does it feel? Back in there in New York, we're mingling. We're at Jets Giants training camp. We're down in New York City at the ABC News studios down there for us. Now we're in our basement here doing the entire conference. It feels like we're all the way back in the football season, Triggs. Is that how you're feeling?
It absolutely does. And I'll tell you, just getting one day yesterday, just boots on the ground, seeing the Jets and Giants hit.
Boots.
You smell it. It's good. Like, we're back. And I know it's a few weeks away, but these inter camp practices that are going on all week, whether it be Philly taking on the Browns, whether it be the Colts and what they're doing with the Packers, whoever's playing right now.
Of course.
I have heard from so many coaches, this is better than the preseason. These practices, the ones versus ones in front of the fans, this is the stuff where you're actually hitting and you're encouraging them to. Yeah. And it's a test of strength. Like, I'll tell you, Pat, I get excited. It's early, but like the Jets' strength of their team is the offensive line. They have all these first-round picks. The Giants' strength of their team is their defensive line. They were hitting the last 2 days. And I'm like, let's go.
We like to see the boys hit each other.
Yeah.
Out there in New York. You were Giants faithful or Jets? I don't remember. Giants, right?
I grew up a Giants fan, but I am impartial now, my friend. I like all 32 teams. And, we like to talk
of course you do. Yeah, shaking hands. Not a human in there. No, you can't have any rooting interest in it all. Okay, so let's go to the complete opposite side of the country. And this is where I want to start with you, strictly because I know how close you are to the entire situation. We all do. Matthew Stafford in this immortal portal, and then him missing things where they're saying he's going to be him being in street clothes, and then obviously this lingering as long as it has. Once again, we're still 3 weeks and a day from kickoff on a Thursday night in Philadelphia. There's still a lot of time for a lot of things to happen. This seemingly lingering longer than any of us could have imagined, but the messaging is if there was to be a game tomorrow, he would play. What is the situation with Matthew Stafford as you know it, and how does Coach McVay feel going into the season about it all?
He's 37 years old, so there's nothing he's going to learn in this training camp that he hasn't done, right? He's going to do it. There's not going to risk an injury with him in training camp. That said, 2 weeks ago, I said I had zero concern about any of this. Last week, I said if 1 to 10, I'd say 1. We're now 3 weeks and 4 days from opening day, and they play a good Texans team opening day with a good front seven. Like, I'd like to see him throw. You know, there was an expectation that he was going to play Monday. Obviously, he doesn't. The thing I'm hearing is this. They're being ultra, ultra, ultra cautious. And that Matthew, if it was up to him, would probably be out there. But they are not risking anything. He's had some pain. They're just going to let him sit until he feels he's fully ready, until they feel he's fully ready. Best doctors in the world out there with that team, best trainer in Reggie Scott. But the question is, does he eventually get some reps in practice before week 1? Because as great as we might think on paper it all is, and as amazing as he was in the June and May months, We'd like to see it in August just for our comfort from the outside looking in. I don't get the sense that they're concerned about week one. I do get the sense that they were happy with how the offense looked with Jimmy Garoppolo, if just in case they had to go that way. Everyone I spoke to from who was there, they sliced and diced up that Dallas defense, and Jimmy was at quarterback during the intercamp scrimmages. So it's going to be an interesting one, but they're not panicking yet. Sean's not panicking. Front office isn't panicking. And from what we know of Stafford, he is one of these guys that if he wanted to get out there, we know he could tough it out.
Yeah.
But that's not the answer you want to hear over an 18-week season with a bad back.
Yeah, it's Stafford with O-U-G-H in the middle there. We know how tough he is in its entirety. He has been. He and I and D-Butts actually drafted in the same class. This is my life. He's still doing the football. Go ahead, AJ.
Shregs, is there a possibility that Stafford wants to get out and he feels like he can practice and the Rams are just being very protective of him? They're trying to look out for his longevity. I know that's the thing. People think, how's this guy supposed to play, 18, 20 games hopefully this year?
Yeah, look, he hasn't said it outwards, and the Rams haven't told me that, but the fact that he was throwing on Saturday and had a session where he threw the ball 60 times, just knowing Matthew, I think he would play if it was up to him. And he's being ultra cautious, but I'm sure that the trainers and the medical staff are the ones advising him here that no. Let's be ultra sure. Gets a little tricky on who wants to do what and who says what. But if it was week one tomorrow, I don't care what's going on. Matthew Stafford would have been out there.
Yeah, and Matthew Stafford is special. We're watching these highlights. The one where he's looking directly at the camera, and then
he's unbelievable.
It's against Eagles.
Eagles, yeah.
And he throws slant inside,
In
touchdown. This is deep play. Was that championship?
That was the divisional round.
Divisional
in
round.
The snow.
Yeah, that's playoff game. Very important. Just no look saucing at that point. It's like he is so talented. Such a good.
And we forget, like they did the top 10 list. Jeremy Fowler put out the top 10 quarterbacks, and a lot of people were like, Stafford's above Hurts, and I'm like, you could have your Hurts argument. Stafford is amazing. Let's not forget what Stafford did last year. And if they're all healthy this year,
we don't need to do this, Shrek. You're hosting in First Take. You're hosting, and you're already doing it. You're already starting to just pin one against the other. Okay, obviously different situations. With that being said, here's what Peyton Manning had to say about Jalen Hurts when he was talking to Chris Collinsworth. He's on the PFF Plus pod, I do believe. And what Peyton has to say about Jalen at this exact moment is very, very fascinating, especially because of the whole, there's two camps, it feels like, on Jalen, which there probably always will be. Here's Peyton's thoughts on it.
I mean, it tells you all about his mental toughness, right? Because that's the kind of situation where it's embarrassing and you just don't sort of recover from it mentally or emotionally. So it tells you how mentally tough that, he is. And they said, he was the first guy to high-five Tua in the locker room and, was as celebratory after that win as, all the players that were, involved in the game. And you're right. I mean, he's played so well in both those Super Bowls, but I like the way he goes about it. He calls me a lot. It asks me lots of questions. They actually run a lot of plays that we used to run, Sirianni to Frank Reich to Tom Moore, sort of that chain. And he calls me with very specific questions about certain plays. So he's a student of the game. As another example, you think, he squats 600 pounds. He can, run over guys. He can throw it a mile. But his appreciation of the cerebral part of the game is what's impressive to me and how he's taken his game to the next level. And I think the sky's the limit for this guy.
I love to hear that. And obviously, I think Peyton probably enjoys the hell out of current quarterbacks calling and asking for help because he gets to nerd out at a level that only a few can really understand. I heard you, I think, say he was the Super Bowl MVP, won a Super Bowl. He's not being disrespected or something. It's not about what he wins on the field. It's about how everybody talks about him, Shrakes. That's what we're doing in there. Do you feel that Jalen Hurts is always just going to be scrutinized? Just like Sirianni, seemingly. Always going to be scrutinized. Do you think that's just how it's going to be and that's kind of what life is going to be like for him, even though some others might not experience the same?
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him that he's surrounded by so much talent and people look to that offensive line as the best in the league. They look at those two wide receivers as two of the best in the league, and they look at Saquon Barkley as the best running back in the league. So you take a look at this team, and he's the one who gets kind of notched below because 2,900 passing yards. He's not going to win you a fantasy championship. Yet I look at it, biggest games. Here's the guy outplaying Mahomes in 2 different Super Bowls. Here's a guy winning Super Bowl MVP, makes every big throw. He's had 6 different offensive coordinators the last 6 times he's taken the field for an NFL or college football team. So I think it's fair for both sides. I think you're allowed to say, hey, look, this guy might not be the first overall pick if I'm redrafting the NFL right now. And he might not be a top 5 quarterback if I'm redrafting my quarterbacks. But you can also say he has done everything you possibly could ask for and that he is the perfect quarterback for that city, for that team, and for that coach. And you nailed it with Sirianni. I think if you polled all 32 NFL head coaches, hey, who are the coaches you respect the most in the league, or who's the coach that you think is tops in the game? I don't think they respect Sirianni either. I don't think he's viewed as a top 10 coach, despite all the success. I think they also hold the same stuff against him. But he's perfect for Philly. He's perfect for that locker room. And he is perfect for that quarterback.
That's so fascinating to hear about Sirianni and his peers, because you would think that they would appreciate somebody who acts like himself and has great success. But he probably tells them, hey,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of that out of Sirianni.
Yeah,
you know.
I bet he loves that.
The other coaches don't. Who cares?
Okay, I'll just go beat their ass on Sunday, I guess.
Yeah, but you're a doofus.
They could say that, right? I think Jeremy Fowler did quarterbacks, wide receivers. I would love to do an anonymous poll, anonymous at the owners' meetings. 32 head coaches, vote on your peers. You should. 1 to 32. Because we could do it in media and we could give Kyle Shanahan and McVay and all these guys their flowers. This guy Sirianni every year is in the playoffs, and the last 2 out of the 3 is finding himself in the big game. So I respect the hell out of him. I don't know if he gets the same respect amongst his peers that maybe he deserves.
The whole media is calling for his job after wins.
Yeah,
I mean that is the whole.
Schrags knows a lot more head coaches than I do, but I think his peers respect him because they know what it takes, regardless of what type of talent you have, what type of players you have, where to get a group of guys to buy in, especially to talk about those wide receivers. They ran the ball more than they threw the ball, so those guys got to buy in.
They know it more than anybody else.
Howie does a great job running that team as well, so been on the same page with him. And then the different coordinators on both sides of the ball that he's had to deal with and manage. Like, I'm sure his peers have a high respect for that. Media, maybe not so much, because day one, remember his first, you can't ever change the first
less thinking, more athlete take over.
But Piers even too, though, with how many like older coaches have gotten back in, he still might not be top 10. Like, some people might just, and granted, I mean,
I'd be curious.
I'm one of those people, but like Pete Carroll, he hasn't been in for a while, but Pete Carroll's back in football now.
So if they see his name on a list.
Exactly. I'm assuming people are putting Pete Carroll over.
Think about it.
Fangio went and worked for him. And then you
go through Mike Vrabel's a new coach. Everyone's going to say, well, Vrabel's one of those guys. You're going to put Sean Payton. He's one of those guys. Pete Carroll. Well, he's one of those guys.
Andy.
You go down the list. Soon you're at 3, 4, 5, 6. Andy Reid is
them.
definitely one of those guys. Like,
yeah.
This is the way we talk about Sirianni.
So they're not going to do the actual vote. That's what we're saying.
Who's 32?
It'll never. That's a fascinating.
Anonymous.
I would like my coach too.
I know 32.
I would like my coach.
Who? No, I will never say.
Okay, good. I like that. That's part of the. That's good.
It's anonymous.
Yeah, I don't need to, but I would like my coach to abstain from doing anything anonymous. I would like the coach to say, "Nah, everything I do, I want my name on it." I would like to. I was approached to do an anonymous vote in the locker room one time, and I said, "Nah, I'd rather just put my name on it." And then they told me what it was. I was like, "I'm not doing that."
What was it for?
There was a vote on something. It's anonymous players were polled on something. It was like, how could this poll actually give proper context to what this situation is? Just so many things I hated about it. Like, let alone the anonymity about it. I don't like that at all. I don't like. Now, granted, I know there's safeness and safety and wellness for whistleblowers. Okay, so
a little different.
I understand in the real world. I understand in the real world we need anonymity for things, but in sports, I really hate it. I don't like it. Now, I know it has to happen too, and I know agents are doing things, and there's always work, and there's leverage, and there's everything like that. I hate the anonymity. I know you're an Emmy award-winning journalist.
No, I don't do it either. Hey, I don't do and I'll tell you what. I came out I came out of the gates, ESPN, shot out of a cannon draft time, and I was like, I don't have a team that has Shedeur Sanders as one of their top guys, and I got crushed for it. Everyone's like, oh, you're killing the kid, you're going to be wrong. And that's what I'll say. I'll just tell you what I'm hearing from teams, but I'm not going to be one who's going to say, hey, anonymous source tells me this about this locker room or not, unless I feel like it's someone that's worth a damn. I'm not taking it from the equipment assistant to the regional manager, whatever it is. Like, it has to be on good stuff for me to go anonymous.
Yeah, those are the ones, actually.
Well, that's
I got their finger on the pulse.
The best poll we have now yearly with the NFL is the report cards, because we know it's coming from
the players
and the people in the building. Like, and it's not who's doing this.
And once again, congrats to the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Right?
Doing it. Yep.
Cardinals went from F- on everything to at least couple C's and B's.
Right.
Hey, Bidwell.
Yeah, Bidwell. Hey, our guy.
Love that.
We love that out of
Cincinnati.
Okay, let's talk about some football stuff, shall we? Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shregs, what do we have any kind of update on Terry McLaurin? We saw a picture from Commanders camp that him and Adam Peters were talking to each other. He looked pretty bummed out. Obviously a tough situation just standing there, but like what's going on here? I think everyone kind of assumed that this was going to get done at some point, and now we're 3 weeks and a day from the season starting and nothing's happening. Like, what's going on? They obviously need him if they want to replicate what they did last year.
They need him, but at what cost? I think it's a fascinating one here, because you can go in on Micah and Trey Hendrickson and you can talk about the numbers and APY and all this. Terry McLaurin is a fascinating case, and I talked about this weeks ago with you guys. It hasn't changed in that he wants a certain number, and I don't know the exact number, but it's a certain number of a certain caliber of wide receiver, and it's in that range of guys where he and his agent believe he belongs and has put the time in and has earned it and is more than just a player. He's the locker room. He's the face. He's everything. And I think the Washington side of it is, let's be realistic here. He's this years old. What's he going to be ascending to? Are we paying him on past performance? Adam Peters was with the Niners when they went through some brutal negotiations, and they usually found a way before the season started. They usually got things done. I think Adam Peters will find a way to get it done with his agent, Buddy Baker, who's an Indianapolis-based guy.
Legend.
For many years. And, of course, Terry is an Indianapolis-based guy. But right now it seems like they're a bit apart, and the guaranteed money might be the aspect, or it might just be APY. Whatever it is, they're not willing to just say, you know what? The last 3 years we stunk, and you were the nicest guy, and you were the best guy, and you wore the C. We're going to reward you and then pay you on future. They want to pay him for what they think they're going to get in the future on that contract. And I don't know if they necessarily look at him as a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson type player.
Okay, so on that note, you think Terry was a Colts fan growing up?
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Man, it'd be great for him to come save the team.
That would be nice.
How great would Terry McLaurin be in the Indianapolis Colts locker room on that offensive side of the ball, legitimately, let alone playing ability, which is unbelievable. Maybe not Malik Neighbors, which I think Malik Neighbors is going to be great. Obviously, saw highlights. You told us with a straight face that Malik Neighbors ranked higher than.
He's there.
Yeah.
Bet you
I think
do.
he's there.
Non-biased.
I'm not.
Yeah.
This isn't the New Yorker in me. I
Yeah.
think Malik Neighbors is viewed as a top tier, going to be one of those guys.
And Terry is. Terry already has been.
Is.
Yeah, Terry, nonetheless. So media maybe views Terry a little bit different.
Media!
Yeah, media. As a whole. You representing them all. That's how we're going to treat you going forward. Here's Terry McLaurin as a child. Wait a second, the plot thickens.
Holy shit.
Now, I would like to let the Washington Commanders know, okay, that I am just going to speak for one city. Okay,
I think he can speak for about 10.
I was going to add kill for the Packers to have.
But I'm just adding in the fact that the Indianapolis Colts thing, like the narrative could easily be like, hey, brother, we need your leadership in this locker room. We need you in the weight. We need you. And that is how Terry is viewed, I think, by everybody, right?
Yes,
like, hey,
absolutely.
This guy is the locker room guy, the guy you want, leader, dog, and also will show up and compete. Like, which is why I ask you this, Shrakes.
Yeah.
Is letting him sit out there with a hoodie on, looking like an asshole, a part of the leverage from the team? I do wonder with that. Like the hold-ins, making guys go stand out in front of their teammates, in front of the fans. Like media's obviously taking photos of them and just kind of doing it. I think that goes against a lot of what these guys are naturally, especially Terry. Like I think Terry does not want to be a distraction. I think Terry wants to be with his team. So it's like I wonder if that is utilized as a point of leverage. Like at some point he'll get sick of having to go out there and just stick out like a sore thumb, which I assume he does. How much is that chatted about, Shregs? Because that is something that never really gets talked about is like, I bet you Terry hates, just like Trey Hendrickson. Like they hate that this is a part of the entire game, I would assume.
They hate being fined even more. And if they're not there, they get fined real money, and those fees cannot be forgiven. Like they used to be, all right, hold out, and then when you come into camp, we'll pay it all back. Like that's the new CBA. Like, that's it. You miss a day of practice, you are being fined, and you are going to pay for that. So he has to be there. So, of course, the team carries the weight. Everyone in the stands is watching him sit there with a hoodie on, and they're like, well, he's just signed a contract 2 years ago. Why is he not out there? He makes $25 million. Is that not – the narrative starts to turn every single day. You're not out there. That said, he's standing on business, and that's what the kids.
SOB.
SOB shout, Pac-Man. That is literally what he's standing on right there. If you were to look at that particular picture right there, but yeah, I assume that I completely changed the way I view Jonathan Taylor with the way the entire thing went, and I assume Jonathan Taylor didn't love it at all. But we just had number 4 overall pick. You were one of the team's not good, brother. You get paid a lot of money, and now you're with a new quarterback, new coach. New regime, new everything.
Need you out there.
Need you. Yeah, you're the best player.
Got to stand on business.
That's what he did, and he got rewarded for it. So that sets a precedent. That sets a precedent.
Maybe Terry does too
for the rest of the team.
His deal is looking good, aging well.
Yes, it is.
I would say. But didn't Terry request a trade? I don't like him. Where are they at with that?
I don't know about all that.
I thought I saw that.
Are you making things up right now?
No, I thought he requested a trade.
Thought I saw that.
We're getting word from the back. He did request a trade. Whoa, did he?
I don't know that. Look, I know Michael Parsons did wrote the biblical scrolls, the 10 Commandments, and actually came out and said publicly and did all that. I don't know if Terry is going to be as vocal about that. If he did make a trade request, it was behind closed doors via his agent, and it wasn't as public as what's going on between Jerry and Mike.
Okay, well, just Chris Ballard, why don't you go ahead and why don't you
kick the tires?
Why don't we go ahead and snoop around? Adam Schefter, July 31st. Terry McLaurin requested a trade, as Schultz report also reported. Schultz got that one first, it sounds like.
Yeah, also.
So had to pay a little bit of respect.
Saw Schultz yesterday. He was at Jets Giants.
No shit. Yeah, that is. Yeah. If you were to tell me or ask me who is one person you think that is definitely at Jets Giants training camp,
gun to the head.
This is it. You get it wrong, you're dead.
Fate of the universe.
Can't say that about everyone. I saw Schultz. He was there. He's good. He's amazing. Boots on the ground.
Of course he is. That's what Schultz does. But also,
oh yeah, shaking hands.
Exactly.
Oh my God,
kissing babies.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
The amount of friends, family friends that are roaming around down there that he has known his
Just
entire life.
report the facts. Schultz was there. That's all I'm saying.
Boots on the ground, Schultz. I think he's doing his own independent thing too, right?
He is, yeah.
So he had to get in that door by himself. Good for him, man. Well,
he's independent.
Eventually. I don't think he kicked that thing down. I think he maybe made a call or two, and they, rolled the red carpet out. But
still got it done.
Still there.
Yeah.
Still there, which we love. That's what we love about him. Let's do a little inside information stuff. What's going on in the state of cheese? Go ahead, AP Tone.
Yeah, Striggs, we're talking about teams that could use wide receivers potentially. The Green Bay Packers wide receiver room is currently a walking morgue. It feels like they have a wide receiver dropping every single day.
Sheesh.
Also, what? What was that?
No, go ahead.
Also, their quarterback is having surgery on his left hand, the non-throwing hand. What do we think the panic level right now is in Green Bay?
Look, I will say this. A lot of people are like, oh, it's his non-throwing hand. It's not great. It's not fatal. It's not something that's like, oh, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. But to not have Jordan Love in practice because of a non-throwing hand, or to not have him being his full, that's not great to have that in mid-August. Now, last year, they go week 1. He gets hurt on that surface down there in Brazil. Comes back, and you could argue the entire season. He came back very soon. Got back on the field quicker than a lot of people anticipated, played through injury, got them to where they were, and maybe the whole season wasn't the same way as it should have been if he was just healthy week 1. You don't want to always have but with the quarterback. Now, this was an avoidable thing, whatever it is. The wide receivers room sounds like injuries here, issue here, whatever you got over there. It still don't feel like, all right, go Packers, whereas you wanted to come into this season humming on all things. Look, the response from Golden so far has been unbelievable. Jordan Love has talked glowingly of him. This is the first time they've got this guy. Is he a blue chipper? I think we're putting him on that mantle right now. We're putting him in that spot. I think we've got to see it before we say, oh, the Packers are this much better on offense this year because they got Matthew Golden. We'll see.
No, yeah, I agree on all points. The thing I won't panic about, Josh Jacobs is going to get 400 carries this year.
That's your guy.
And he didn't play, and their O-line's very good. So if as long as Josh Jacobs doesn't, break his foot, break his leg or something like that. But, yeah, that's why the Terry McLaurin thing, because they always talk about, hey, this great group of young receivers. It's like, well, maybe, just maybe, they need a good veteran in there to kind of coach these guys up and tell them what needs to happen to be a good receiver in this league.
I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, Shregs. It might not matter with what's going on in Green Bay or Minnesota or Chicago. Have you heard Motor City Dan Campbell's conversation with Brad
Galley, I believe.
Galley, not Brad Holmes, good legend.
Say Smith.
Brad Galley, local media in Detroit. Listen to this. They got 2 new coordinators. They got a lot of change. They got a lot of... MCDC still exists.
Is there a bit of an edge to you at all this year with so much written about the coordinators leaving? An edge to you maybe to prove to everybody that you're still the head coach of this team, that you're still at the helm of this for 5 years, and that there shouldn't be concern?
Well, I think, man, it's not hard for me to find things that can drive you. I mean, I feel like that's the world we're in. That's how I was as a player. That's how I am as a coach. Like I'll pull anything negative because it motivates me. So I would be lying if I said no, that doesn't get me going a little bit. That's the next challenge. So, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Like, Ben's great. Aaron's great.
No doubt.
But is there part of you that says, I've been here the whole time steering this ship as well?
Well, I think the important thing is, and what I wanted to start this thing off with, and us and the group of people we're with, is, man, it takes a village. And if you want your team to play like a team, then we have to function like a team. As coaches, as GM, head coach, ownership, management. And I think that's important. So what we do as a team. And I've said this before, man, if I really did this right, I should be able to just leave and these guys don't miss a beat.
Incredible answer there by MCDC and the culture he has built or trying to build. We shall see how this year goes. Nobody really talking about the Detroit Lions, Shregs. What are your thoughts?
I think there are a lot of interested parties on how those new coordinators do perform. And I think it really goes to John Morton, who's a guy who's been coaching the league for 30 years and was maybe a surprise pick to be the new offensive coordinator. Of course, he had history with Dan Campbell. But, if you're telling me Ben Johnson is the greatest offensive genius of the last decade, and they had all these things that have been coming out of this team with the Penei Sewell running in motion and Jahmyr Gibbs being used 100 different ways and J-Mo and what they got with Amon-Ra St. Brown, you're taking him out of the equation and you're replacing him with a new coach, I think it's fair to question how that dynamic is going to go. And it's amazing because here's Jared Goff, who has been to a Super Bowl, has been to 2 NFC championship games, had the number 1 seed last year, has the mega contract, is an all-Pro Bowl, all-pro guy. And yet, year 10, people are like, is Jared Goff good enough to do this without Ben Johnson? They all have massive chips on their shoulders. And I can't come here on August 14th or whatever day it is and tell you
13th, it's Author Tone Day.
I can't come here and tell you with confidence that this offense isn't going to miss a beat. I just can't, because I don't know what it is. And I think Ben Johnson is that good. So all the pressure does go back onto Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, and let that motivate you guys. But gosh, Ben Johnson was a very big piece of this revitalization. We cannot just erase him from the history.
Yeah, so is Aaron Glenn. I mean, you start doing those conversations, you start thinking about how great these guys are, but this is what good teams have to deal with. And you talk about great teams have to deal with. And if you talk about Sirianni's kind of respect level amongst his peers, he's lost his coordinators and had to do this. Patriots, I don't know if it didn't really happen often to you guys.
Coordinators, it did early, and then after, then it kind of started to turn where everyone was like, Bill's assistants suck. And then
you're right. Mangini and Cleveland.
But like Mangini, McDaniels, Flores, Mangini,
Romeo Crennel,
Schwartz, Crennel. Like there were a few.
And some people would credit Vrabes, even though he played there, he didn't really coach for.
Yeah, he didn't really coach there, but he still will get like, well, he learned a lot from Bill.
They give that's his tree. Andy Reid, they got the same coordinators. Well, they got all Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah, Tobe.
Lost Nagy for a couple of years, came back. Spags, 0 head coaching interviews all last offseason, despite having the best defense in the league when it mattered and wanting to maybe get a look to be a head coach. The NFL, the rest of the 31 other owners, they know better. They don't need to interview Sag. They don't need to interview Spags.
Yeah, sir, you've already had opportunity. We don't need to do that again. You're right where you're.
I get heated on this one.
You love Spags, huh? So do we.
That's my guy. And the way that players respond to him is like no other. He is as great a leader of men in this league as there is, and 31 other teams just think, nah, we're good. We're gonna not even interview the guy. We're good. We're fine. Whatever.
Andy Reid, Hall of Famer. Tobe, Hall of Famer, special teams. And then Spags, Hall of Famer on defense as coordinators. And they're all back again.
They got Mahomes.
And, and Travis Kelce, and 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Big deal. Yeah. Taylor Swift's on new heights, Shregs. Yep, set the alarm. Yeah, we are. I don't know what you're doing, Shregs. I don't know what you're doing right there. I don't know what that was, but you need to check your reactions before whatever they are.
You think he breaks it all time?
Yes.
144 million?
Yeah, I don't think there's really a question.
What's all time though? Sports, or because didn't Trump do one with Joe Rogan? I feel like that's a pretty monster podcast.
And maybe their entire average will jump enough for them to get an entire average boost. That's insane, which they will. For sure.
Did you see? They released the stats after this was announced. They picked up like 100-some thousand or 200-some thousand followers on Instagram.
Which is a gigantic number. Everybody sees that The Rock has like 150 million or something like that, and they're like, wow, that's what a lot of followers are. It's like 100,000, 200,000 new subs before something is even out is a gigantic movement. That is a big needle move.
And then it was subscription to the podcast went up like 21,000% or something like that from where it was like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, so Rogan does so many people every show. I mean, it is grotesque what he does. There's also some others. I believe Caller Daddy has massive numbers.
Have you gone on that yet?
On what?
Caller Daddy? Or
no, I've not.
You haven't done that?
She's a dog, though. She's a beast, man. Yeah, absolute beast. I got a lot of respect for anybody that is able to do in this world. And I say this in a different way, but yeah, that is gigantic. This is what you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. I hope she spills some business in there. She is a beast. Work ethic, behind the scenes. I watched that documentary with my wife of her. Completely different view of Taylor Swift. And people hate her for whatever reason. You know, she's the biggest star on earth, so people are going to hate her. The more people that know you, the more people naturally that aren't going to like you. But what an absolute goat roaming around. And then Travis, obviously, what a superpowers coming together type thing. And remember, they weren't actually in love. This was fake.
Yeah.
This was an industry plant of
we
a
saw the
relationship.
breakup letter.
Yeah, exactly. Saw the whole thing. Now they're doing this. It's like, I'm a big fan. And I believe Travis on our show said he invited to the gate, I think, like, there is a part of our show that's part of their story. So I always was hoping that they were legit, and I think they're perfect for each other straight.
You know what was cool? No, it really showed me a lot about her. Obviously, you don't need my validation, but when she starts playing
me neither,
at Tight End University, and she's up there and starts performing for the Dan Orlovskis and all the guys that are in there. Like she don't, this isn't, she's not selling out, the Tokyo Dome here. She's playing at some, honky tonk in Nashville for a bunch of tight ends talking about wheel routes. I'm like, all right, she's good by me. I like that.
Yeah, and I think there was a little bit of booze maybe too. There was a little bit of party. And then the band also, like her walking around saying hello, telling them, hey, we're playing blah, blah, blah. It's like the amount of talent that is just on display in front of you. Yeah, that's a cool thing. That is a very cool relationship that's happening during our lifetime. People hate it. There's some people. I think Taylor pokes fun at that, actually. Oh, I know a lot of male sports fans are really going to love seeing more of me, especially on this podcast.
That was good.
Yeah, it was a good little little thing there early. I like it. I like what they're doing. What is she going to say in there? TS12, I guess, is the new era. It's a new album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life of a
songwriter or something?
Showgirl. Have a little respect, please.
Get it right.
Jeez Louise, boy.
I mean, that's not disrespectful. I'm not a diehard Swiftie. I like her music, but I'm not.
Did you open your phone, though, just in the last, 2 days?
Yeah, I saw it, but I'm not committing it to memory. Like, oh, it's her next album,
Okay, Life of a Showgirl?
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay,
not a tortured poet?
Not yet.
You got too much already in here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any room.
I know. I'll make some more space. I'll download the album. Sure, of course. I'm not committing the name of the album to memory.
Right now.
I'm sorry. Right now, or probably when it comes out.
What about a 12-12 on the 12th?
That is cool. I like that gimmick.
How about a little Easter egg, the gimmick, the scavenger hunt type?
Very cool. She gets it.
Very committed to that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Setting stuff up for that.
Long time.
Is she still the number one dog, though? Like, I felt like this summer there was a lot of Chapel Roan and there's
Peter,
Olivia Rodrigo.
watch your mouth. now.
Pink Pony Club is
You're going to bring up Taylor now on this Chapel Road. It's the next name out of your mouth.
You need to just understand.
Does she have a chip on her shoulder?
Taylor.
Good Lord.
Yes, she has a chip on her shoulder. Always. She's one of them.
Mahomes spent the whole.
She is Everest.
She is them.
She is the mountain.
Sure, I can't believe you just did that.
How dare you doubt our queen?
I almost want to end this conversation. We had one more question.
We like Chapel Road too.
Yes,
we are big fans.
My daughter.
Club?
Yeah,
my daughter.
Yeah,
great song.
We're talking about Taylor Swift, brother.
Yeah, there's levels to this shit.
Good,
bro.
I get it.
Okay.
Dude,
no, you don't.
I'm not questioning
Sounds
her.
like
I'm
you
asking if right now are the kids in this moment are they listening to Taylor or have they moved on because it's been a year since the last album and she's like I'm gonna go re-get my
dude.
phone.
All right,
they don't move.
We
on.
appreciate you, Shregs.
I got nothing.
We do. Are you talking about like 10-year-olds? Maybe their first album will be TS12. Guess what? They're in.
Lifetime.
Just
fan.
like every other generation.
And what are they doing? If
Gen Alpha will be in.
TS12 is the first album they're listening to. Guess what they're doing? They're not waiting for 13.
No.
They're going to 11.
All the record that she had already are about to
Yes.
get broken again because Gen Alpha's coming in.
And she owns
Going
all
back to that love story.
Two different
Going right back.
Yeah.
You're feeling 22 all of a sudden, aren't you, Shregs? This is outstanding. Seriously, to watch you kind of live through this with us. But you need to check yourself. We think tonight's numbers on New Heights will be record-breaking.
Yes. No doubt.
Yeah, I think it will be record-breaking. Warranted, though. I'm excited to hear what happens. I'm excited to hear how it goes. We will say this, though, Shregs.
Yeah.
Having you on our show is like our Taylor Swift.
Man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Right, Foxy?
Amen. Well said.
I mean, I would argue he is more the Chapel Roan and like Michael Lombardi's are Taylor Swift, but I understand what you're saying.
Michael Lombardi.
That is a valid.
Why you laughing so hard?
What you're,
I mean, it kind of came to me right there.
yeah, that is a. But that's good. Hey,
Love Pink Pony Club. I love Pink Pony Club.
Love that Pink Pony Club. Love it.
But we're in the same. Yeah, that is the same. Think highly of both.
Yes.
Good company.
Both
to keep.
superstars.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmy Award winner. New Swiftie, I guess. This guy's not a Swiftie.
I'm a Swiftie.
He's not.
I don't know if he's winning any
Yeah.
awards now that he claimed.
Yeah, that's a bad idea, brother. Wrong side.
August. I love that stuff, man.
Song.
The song.
He heard Aaron say that in an answer. You remember Aaron said that
yeah.
to Jets on social media. That is where he heard that exact answer. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter, that is, yes it is. That's Peter Schrager.
Yeah, that's right.
I heard that. Yeah. That's exactly where he got that. Because Aaron gave that answer literally to the Jets social media person. Favorite song.
That was one of his
August,
best.
Man. Hey, Shrek.
Yeah.
He's rolling. He's rolling. Hey, great Wi-Fi.
Yeah, one of these today.
Yeah, hard laugh into the camera. Didn't know if it was a positive or a negative. He's not on the side of less Taylor Swift at football, is he?
No.
Absolutely not.
I think he's on the side like he doesn't care.
Like Ty kind of was saying, which was very valid. I will say for the sport of football, especially flag football, we talk about this all the time. If flag football continues to grow and the girls and, at younger age, it's like we got a whole new sport coming. We got a whole new world for the NFL. The NFL is always like, we need to expand football into Europe and then, globally more. It's like, what about the other half of the United States of America? We can get them playing football. And if they're playing football, they're going to love the sport as much. It's like that is a whole nother growth department for the NFL and for football as a whole that I'm very pumped to see, especially as a girl dad. You know what I mean? Like, and my girl runs a lot. We're running a lot. Everybody's running a lot at that age. Is that kind of the thing?
Oh, yeah.
She's moving a lot.
That's an active age, yeah. Turn your head and she's like 150 yards away.
It is awesome, though. It is so, because she's like laughing while running and just like enjoying. I'm like, yeah, let's continue to run. Let's not think running is punishment. Let's think running is fun. Yeah, because your dad, you see, views running as punishment.
Exactly.
And
Me too.
It is very hard to get out there and want to do it. So, yeah, we're happy running. Speaking of being happy, isn't it great whenever we get a chance to chit-chat with somebody who's not only a local boy, but also great at what he does?
Hell yeah.
A young stud that we learned about as being the low amateur at the 2024 Masters. Out of the Ohio State University. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, Corn Ferry Tour golfer. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Shipley.
Hey, boys.
Neil.
Good to see you guys.
Hey, it's great to see you. You look fantastic. Are you out there on the course right now?
No, we're just sitting. We're near the pool deck here at beautiful Hillcrest Country Club in Boise, Idaho.
Wow. I'll tell you what, golf is a good thing to be good at.
Yes.
You know, because the views, big head nod there. Speaking of being good at, I have an official announcement for you. And I don't think you know this, but you might have known that it was around the corner. Each year, 20 players earn a PGA Tour card through their position on the end-of-season Korn Ferry Tour points list. Throughout the season, the PGA Tour monitors players at the top of the list, and when they meet a certain threshold, they are declared #Tour banned, which means they've locked up their PGA Tour card for the following season. Neil Shipley, it is with our honor, and I kind of gave it away there. You have a brain, so you certainly understood what was going on and have been following along. But we are so incredibly lucky to be a part of a moment that we hope changes the trajectory of your life, your family's life, and everything you got going on. Congratulations, brother. With 2 massive comeback wins this season, you're a top 100 player in the world now. You've officially locked up your PGA Tour card. You are #Tour banned, sir. Congratulations.
Thanks, boys.
We're proud of you. Hey, we're proud of you, buddy. This is a big deal. Wow. How I assume this is something that was on your radar, and with this obviously becoming official, how do you feel? Congrats, man. We're proud of you.
Oh, I'm so pumped. I'm really excited to be on the PGA Tour next year and get back out there. And I feel like it's where I belong. And I'm really stoked for the opportunities that are to come here. And I really appreciate you guys being a cool part of this and surprising me here.
Yeah. Okay. So surprise you. That was the thing that we were kind of presented as a surprise, and we're like, if we were Neil. And you guys, they sent me this as like the official proclamation, you know, like, hey, if you want to read like an official thing, here it is. And it's like each year 20 players earn their PGA Tour card from the Korn Ferry Tour's point list. It's like, that's something you guys are monitoring all year, right? I assume that is something you're actively watching and everything as the season goes on?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's something that we're totally watching. You know, we have a point total in mind that we think we might get just based off previous years. So it's something I figured I was kind of past that threshold, but finally getting the official #TourBound stamp is pretty sweet.
Okay, we thought that was a nice added bonus. Thought of it about 5 minutes before we went live, so apologize on it not being perfectly across your face, but we did get the point across. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Neil, do you have any idea how many events you will play in next year in your first PGA, your first season with your official tour card, and who are you looking forward to possibly playing with that you may not have got paired with yet?
Oh, you know, I'll probably play somewhere in the range of 20-25 events. That's a pretty typical season. So it's a lot of time on the road, but it's fun. We go to a lot of cool places on the PGA Tour. And, you know, I'd really like to – I haven't played with Scotty yet. I've gotten to interact with him a bunch, but I'd love to watch his game up close in person. He's just he's an absolute animal.
Yes, I would say from watching outside in, DeChambeau says he has the greatest ball spin and yardage control that he's ever seen, and that is why he is different. That would be cool to do a run. Hey, you're in the same tour as him.
Hell yeah, gotta beat him.
You're in the same tour as him, Neil. Come on,
you gotta hate him.
We got like 2 minutes before a hard out. D-Bud has a question for you, Neil. PGA Tour player, Neil Shipley.
Since turning pro last year, what has been some things, I guess, that have surprised you? How much have you had to add to the team, being that so much more is on your plate now?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely surprised me how tough it is being on the road for this long. I mean, I'm doing, I think, 24, 25 weeks this year, and we're doing like 4 weeks in a row a lot of times. And I tell you what, when you get to week 4, you know, what you eat and how you treat your body really starts to add up. So I've been paying a lot more attention to that and taking a little bit more time to rest. And I think, you know, I'm 24. We're starting to get older, starting to feel it a little bit more every day.
Yeah.
But trying to, you know, get ahead of the curve there and start treating our body like I'm an athlete.
Yeah, you are, by the way, at the highest level now in your particular profession. I think 25, my metabolism started changing. I think like my body started changing.
That's one.
26 maybe. I forget what it was. I used to be able to just do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it started showing up and I'm like, yo, I'm an old man now. But you're not old. You're very young. Fresh into a PGA Tour career that we'll be speaking about for generations and generations. We're proud of you, bud. Congratulations.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Shipley of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, Neil. Tour bond.
Tour bond.
Tour bond.
It's huge.
It is cool, man.
Yeah.
I used to watch Big Break And
great
they
show.
give out a cue card.
Yep.
You know, you have to earn the cue card to get onto the tour. And there was a series of tough trials that you had to get through, whether it was breaking glass and tic-tac-toe.
That's right.
You know, or having to chip it over a ring. You know, there was that was a great opportunity. I once dreamt, big break. I once dreamt of being on that show someday and getting a cue card at the end of it.
You got the unduffable.
Yeah, I even bought the unduffable after watching a big break. So, I mean, I was proud to be, we were very awesome, honored to be a part of this awesome moment for Neil Shipley, but I assumed he had to already know.
For sure.
But we just stamped it officially.
Yeah.
Made it official.
He didn't know when.
Today.
He knew at some point.
But today's the day, Neil. You did it. We knocked on the door like we were David Baker.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Via FaceTime while he's at a country club in Boise.
Wow. Chuck's?
That's Chuck's club, yeah.
Those golf lives are great. All right, fuck that. We'll see you. This is so bad. Couldn't get a word out.
It was muted on the way out. Fuck
So
that.
that was so bad. Couldn't get a word.
That's good.
I had no idea if I wanted to transition to like, hey, we continue or continue to give Neil his credit, you know? It's just,
Flowers.
yeah,
was good.
it was an interesting moment there in my brain. Nonetheless, he had to have,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He had to.
He knows he has enough points to qualify, right? So top 20 off the Corn Ferry make it, get their card?
yeah, but then there's like a certain threshold too, so I don't know if it's
I would
Because it used to
imagine
do
if
Q
you
school.
if you win twice on the Corn Ferry Tour, like that is putting you, like there aren't a whole lot of guys I would assume that are winning two
Is it
times.
just top 20 money list, Ty? Do you know? Like the top
He said
20 money
points.
list of winners?
Yeah, and then it said certain threshold. There's a lot of wording. Hold on, so
It's like Liv, DeChambeau.
I mean, there's so many people that are trying to get that card. It's unbelievable to even hold a PGA Tour card.
agreed. I think you get some good perks too. You know,
probably.
the PGA doesn't pay you, of course.
Yeah, now you get.
You gotta go earn that. But I do think you get some perks other places. You know, show up at any golf course anytime. What's the record here?
Where's the tee box?
Where's the T-box? What's the record? I need a cart and a caddy. I think that is part of
Good
it.
gimmick.
I don't know if
But,
they should make that a rule if that's not a rule, by the way.
Should be.
Remember those NFLPA cards that guys used to have?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What'd they get you?
I think that got me in trouble, actually. I think when they went through my wallet as I was being, sitting there in the middle of a parking lot about 4 or 5 a.m. in Indianapolis, and they saw that thing buried in there, I think that potentially, what do we have here?
It's like one
You
of
think
those,
you're special, huh?
Is it like one of those Mustang cards we would walk around and sell to fundraise in high school? You go to Subway, get 10% off.
No.
Oh, those were awesome.
Those were very cool. And we had a guy at West Virginia, Adam. Oh, I apologize for forgetting your name, brother. Name was Adam. He was like entrepreneur at college. Always hustling, this guy.
Yep.
Always hustling.
We all had one.
He had these wristbands that he was selling that were like those discount coupon books.
Yeah.
So you get a wristband, you buy this wristband, and obviously you get a deal at like, you get ice cream for this amount of price. You get this at this certain thing. At this club, you get this amount of dollar amount for beer. At this restaurant, you get chicken tenders for free with this order. And he was like, he sold these wristbands. Genius idea. I mean, it was absolutely genius. I wonder if the PGA has a wristband.
Is that what the NFLPA card's like?
No, the
You tell me you
NFLPA.
got to wear this wristband 24/7 that this guy sells you? Like, who's doing that?
To be clear,
You're going to a restaurant.
I would like to let everybody know I did get $40,000 out in loans in college at a 28% interest rate.
Pretty solid rate.
Okay, so I did do that. I did have access to funds when I was in college.
You need the wristband.
I did not. I did not wear a wristband full time, but I did respect the shit out of wristband.
Yeah.
You know, like if he was having an event and we were all going to a party, I would certainly get wristband support through the entire thing. But yes, people were wearing it all day. It was back in wristband time though.
Live strong.
Live strong. People were doing it.
Balance bands.
It was a good idea. But the NFL card was like a student card that you would have at like university.
You can go. You get into a lot of places. Like a lot of guys would use me like get in the club, skip lines. I was always the guy. I never wanted to show something to somebody and then get embarrassed. Like that.
Yep.
So I would never do it. But people
Certainly wanted
tell
to-
them who you are. So whatever it is. Like
Certainly wanted to be with a group that had one person in it that did though. So
for sure.
there was a couple moments getting into clubs or various establishments where, boy, this looks like a long time getting here. We are not known enough to stand here and get the attention to get in here. But boy, if somebody in here would go up there and do the asshole thing, that would be great. And I would always try to mingle away from where this was happening. And then I'm trying to sneak in last second.
Sure.
Always going to have to be a, yes, he's with us, with the, because I have been cut off, then yes, he's with us. Because that's how far away I wanted to remain from the usage of the card.
Seen one of these before?
That was, it was optically, it was the worst thing of all time. And it looked bad. I mean, but when it worked.
You need that guy, though. You do. Every group needs that guy.
Hey, you should get that swing at. We are going to spend a lot of money in here. You can, yes, I can tell you personally what I can promise, what you can promise. I will be buying a lot of things for a lot of people if we were to get in there. We will too, right? Yeah. And I think that was always the message. Got a couple $1,000, right? Oh man, what a time! So he's got one of those now.
Yeah, I've heard that about the tour card. Like growing up, that was always what people said, but I never knew if it was true or not.
They don't pay for golf anywhere.
No.
I assume they
Scotty
don't.
said he hasn't paid.
Yeah.
He was just asked that he hasn't paid for a round.
They show
because
up.
someone's calling. Even if you're not a really well-known PGA Tour guy, I would imagine your caddy or manager is going to call the course you want to go play.
Somebody's
and tell
taking
him,
a card.
Hey, he's coming.
Somebody's taking a card.
Can you imagine showing up if you are a PGA Tour golfer? A lot of people don't know by looking at him, and you think the guy's like, all right, $625 for your green speed. Like, oh, well,
not even,
I was told.
Not even that. They send you out with play with a guy who's like a 30 handicap.
You got to be with a member.
Yeah, you're right.
Need you out there with a member. Need you out there with a member. Golf is a good thing to be good at.
Oh yeah,
great. Sure.
And as I grow older, that's becoming more and more evident.
I like that Neil's from a cold weather state. I can't stress how difficult that is.
Yeah.
It's always Texas, Florida, or California.
He didn't move like as a high schooler?
He might have, but
I would assume he had to.
No, he went to Central, right?
Oh yeah, he was Central Catholic High School.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
Oakmont was his place.
He's there now.
Okay, yeah. Like that's really impressive.
Those guys stick together too. That's what Keegan Bradley said. He's like, I'm a northeast golfer. Like I take a lot of pride in that just because I'm not from Florida.
And that was before Sim. Now Neil Shipley might have been in Sim era.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And he's traveling to all those junior tours
But he also went
all
to
year round.
Ohio
for
State.
sure.
Yeah, Ohio State. Yeah.
He could have went to a warm weather college and chose not to.
Yeah, he could have chose a little bit easier route. Now spring is not terrible in a lot.
And
of
he's an
places.
Ohio boy, so he grew up with a Buckeye in his hand.
Pittsburgh boy.
Speaking about Ohio,
Don't give him the Ohio.
have you been following LeBron's golf journey?
Hand up.
I love that he's golfing.
Hand up.
Love it.
I love that he's golfing. His swing, the first time he stepped out there, I love that he went for it.
Yeah.
LeBron has watched others golf that he is viewed as less athletic than him. And I'm not saying he's saying that outwardly, but in his brain, he is watching people do this. I just need to do what they do. Probably watched a lot of film. And he committed. I appreciated how he committed to swinging really, really hard that first couple times. But him getting the bug, him loving wine, it's like you can see the.
It's perfect.
You can see you can always see it all coming together.
Jordan arc.
It's been good to follow, playing at night, playing in the rain, all the shit that everybody when they catch that bug. And when he was actually here after the LeBron conversation, I asked him and Steve like, "Hey, you guys play golf?" Neither one of them had played golf until that point. So I'm gonna tell my grandkids. I got LeBron in the golf.
Okay, hey,
You should.
Hell yeah, Debo.
thanks for doing that.
Hell yeah.
Bryson
You walk. That's the needle mover. It's the needle mover.
Bryson DeChambeau, all he's trying to do is spread the game. All he hopes is one kid picks up a golf club because of what he's doing.
Keep working, Bryce. Keep working. One day at a time.
Dreams come true.
It's unbelievable. LeBron golfing's good for golf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Golf is good for golf at this point, it feels like. Just people doing it. You got to commit a lot to play golf. Got to commit a lot. Time.
LeBron should cruise around the Ryder Cup like Jordan always does. Like this year, he should go.
That'd be interesting. Would they have two carts? Or would they share a cart?
Yeah.
They're not. They're not.
He's still playing.
Maybe golf is what.
Brings them
Unites
together. LeBron, we saw him. Okay, if they have a golf cart that's custom, maybe he's sitting next to someone.
And
so
Jordan also 6'6".
Exactly. They're so fucking
big.
huge that you can't sit. Like, I'm looking at your golf cart. He could probably fit in something. Like, they could fit in something.
In the back seat.
Yeah, together like that. But, shit.
That's like whenever Shaq was doing that Buick commercial.
Yeah.
Shaq, come on.
Shaq, we know.
Come on, I hit my knees off the steering wheel. You were literally a foot and a half tall. And
Don't lie.
no, they took out the back seat. Obviously. Oh, okay.
No problem.
I'll buy a Buick now.
Yeah.
movies. So they're coming to ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Licensed through ESPN.
Yep.
Like that. How do we think that's going to go?
Great.
I think so too.
Still all the same people running the show, right?
Yeah,
Like-
and I think there's enough respect from the execs at ESPN.
Not to meddle.
Let same amount of time they get.
Assume.
They get their same amount of airtime.
I don't know. I have no idea. There's like memes. I've seen like memes and stuff and
Yeah, I've
like
seen,
different tweets. I don't know what's real and what's not.
That was what I read in an article. It was like, is ESPN going to be okay with doing like floating breaks for that? Because sometimes they'll talk for 35 minutes and not go to a commercial.
Now, I don't want to insert us into their conversation, but see shows completely licensed by ESPN, created, fully controlled by outside entity, and also with no commercial breaks and the ability to float commercial breaks being brought to the network and executed and profitable and seemingly technically easy to accomplish, feels like their entire shit should just be
same as is.
Should be. That's why, like, the panic, I appreciated the panic, and we had a bunch too. I mean, we were attacked. I was attacked heavily when I was like, hey, show's getting licensed through ESPN. This is great news.
Never forget.
We're about to showcase that you can do a different style of sports. You know, we're about to celebrate shit out of this thing. Blah, 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 blah. Our people were like, you fucking piece of shit. Everything you stood for.
It was worse than that.
It was way worse.
Yeah, there was a lot of mean things.
Never
said.
forget.
There's a lot of mean things being said.
Never forget.
Now, granted, has our show changed? Maybe. Would our show have changed anyways? Yes. We're growing. I got a baby girl now.
Yeah.
We're married. We got a whole
AJ's got terrible hair.
Whoa.
I like AJ's hair.
I like his hair too.
I like where it's going.
I like that it looks like his head's getting a little bit of a hug. You know, has a little bit of fur. Yeah. I like that that's happening. And there's going to be a lot of these stages as he gets to where we want him to go, which is the very, very long.
Put a hat
but why
on.
does everybody always just say ESPN's going to ruin shows that are created in? I guess because they did.
They did.
Because they did for a long time.
Yeah, and there was a lot of like, for us, it was like a lot of leaks and stuff. Like a lot of, this guy should get canceled. They say the F word. Remember that shit?
Oh yeah, early on. That was the awful announcing.
This is
every
disgusting.
day after the show.
We're
It's like,
disgusting. We're like everything about us is the worst of all time. ESPNer that's been there for 23 years is anonymously said, obviously keep the safety of the person, that this is disgusting, despicable for ESPN to have this show on, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's like if you consider that trying to ruin a show, which you could, turn off future fans, advertisers, you can publicly kind of try to get in the way of something having success. And we certainly experienced that, I would say, at a very high volume, I would think, with the entirety of it all. That's settled in a little bit, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a few weeks ago, I guess there was another one. Great, thanks. Really cool to do. But I think they have enough respect for inside the NBA that it will be like, we're lucky to have them almost. You know what I mean? As opposed to,
You would hope so.
we hate all the people that don't matter. I mean, I've said this a lot, but you get it. All these people that don't really matter, but they have a little bit of power in Bristol, like they don't like, potential change. But maybe we're at a point where they understand that like bringing in inside the NBA is actually a good thing for the future of, the network. Bringing in maybe like a podcast type show to the network is maybe a good idea.
They had to.
Maybe. So they could be in the podcast world.
Had to catch up, man.
In the whole entire thing. $1 billion.
Oh, yeah.
So
At least.
whenever you
out the dough.
Out the
Sorry,
motherfucking
bro.
dough.
What came in though, well, in their eyes, a lot of terrible things. So that is what you think is not going to happen I think will not happen with inside the NBA. So I think it's going to be great. I think the show's going to thrive. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people talk about the Stephen A thing getting inserted in there. Like, you don't think Stephen A going in there and battling with Shaq and Chuck every once in a while, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't know any information. You don't think Chuck and Shaq and Kenny and Stephen A going at it throughout the NBA season is a good, I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. People are like, I don't want to see more Stephen A. It's like, I wouldn't mind seeing Charles Barkley and Stephen A.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Also, wouldn't mind like seeing Perk and them go at it. Like they've gone
Yes,
at it publicly.
wars.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, now you can have it on the same set. Like that is a good, will be good TV.
And also, I guess alongside Game Day, I think kind of viewed as like greatest sports shows that have really ever happen.
Definitely.
I think. I don't know how many of those there are, but you get that is the conversation they're talking about. So I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long way away.
Long way. It's funny you should say that because I was kind of looking at the NBA because when we were done with the show yesterday, they were just talking about all the games that are, the opening night game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the first week of the NBA. Their off season too they're October, the third week of October.
I was going to say, once football season starts, you're really like a month out from the NBA starting.
Well, you're not really because it doesn't start.
Well, true.
Exactly.
Well, let's talk about sports, though, that are currently happening that we care about now, and we got to remember that. Baseball. You were out on the Yankees, 3 days ago? We're back?
Yeah, before the Twin Series, and they've won 2 in a row. So, yeah, right when I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yes, they do, huh?
So,
the Yankees are sucking you in, aren't they?
They are. But, yeah, we got some pretty close races in a couple of the divisions here. So, I mean, again, there's still about a month of baseball left, so there's still quite a bit left. But now it's kind of things come into focus and you realize, like, okay, these are the teams that are really going to make a run. A lot of these teams are out. The Brewers are the best team in baseball by kind of a wide margin right now. They've won 11 in a row currently. They just continue to win. I think they're the first team since like the 1935 Cubs. They've had, I think, 3 separate 10-plus game winning streaks this year. So, yeah, I mean, same deal. We've talked about how with football right now, like, it's awesome.
He says the Buccos.
Yeah, they stink.
Okay.
They absolutely stink.
The bottom center of the graph.
It's okay.
But if you don't want to just watch preseason football or you want to watch, the first or second series, there's still a lot of good baseball games.
Okay, wait, how's Shohei doing?
Pretty good. He actually hit into a triple play last night, which is very rare. Doesn't happen a whole lot.
This guy's unique.
But then he came back and hit a game-tying home run in the 9th inning. The Dodgers went on to lose, but, and he's also, kind of wrapped up in some legal issues right now. But Tony looked into those yesterday post-show, and it sounds like those are largely bullshit.
Mumbo jumbo.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's his fault.
Okay, love to hear that. Shohei we need to start protecting Shohei. Legit. Okay, this guy's special talent.
We can leave that to Japan, maybe.
Okay, so what I'm looking at a score by Brewers and the Pirates. Is this real?
Yes, that was yesterday. Skeen started too.
Dude,
what?
He only gave up like 4 earned runs, and they could kind of see how
they gave up 10 runs.
Oh yeah. After Skeens came out, bullpen came in and just
the
fucking
best team in baseball by
a wide margin.
Didn't they win 11 straight games and they almost had to give hamburgers or cheeseburgers?
Correct. That was earlier this year.
11
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, but now they're on another 11-game win streak.
Yeah. Tonight
12.
they're going for 12
So
tonight.
if they get 12 tonight, it's the burgers.
The burger story.
Yes, the burger story.
The 170,000 burgers. What was the number? It was
I think it was like 150,000 or 170,000
in 1960 or 1970 or something like that. What was the family's name? So if they win tonight, we're back on Burger Watch.
Yeah, if they win tonight, that'll be 12 straight.
They're playing right now.
What's the score?
0-0.
Okay.
Who's pitching? Is the Miz on the bump?
Let me see.
Mike?
Because he wanted
star players.
The Miz plays for the Brewers now?
same level of aura, different profession.
Oh.
This is young Buck. Who
I've
got
been following.
voted into the All-Star game, and everybody was pissed off
It's
about it. Nasty.
Mitch Keller versus Brandon Woodruff.
Okay.
Woodruff.
So no, it's not the Miz.
And I don't know which team either of those guys are on, but
Mitch Keller's on the Buccos.
Yeah, he's the old dog.
Oh, they're playing the Pirates for the burger?
Yes, they are.
Oh, no, this goes down in history.
Yeah.
If they win.
Yeah, it will.
It's remembered forever against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
No one outside of Milwaukee will remember it.
But if the Pirates
No,
win,
whenever it will be talked about. We've talked about
Best
it.
team in ball.
Happened in 1960-something, brother.
No one outside of Milwaukee cares about the burgers.
We talked. What I'm saying is.
I'm not getting a free burger, are you?
No, but I'm saying in 30 years from now, when this happens again, they're going to say, this happened was against guess who? The Pittsburgh Pirates. That's what's going to happen.
And I wouldn't say that, Tony, because if the Brewers win today, I'm going to go to a restaurant up near my house and demand a free burger. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Also, to the point of this will be history for the Brewers. I mean, the Pirates win this game, they could damn near hang a banner. They could call this like a pennant, maybe not a World Series.
The No-Berg pennant.
Yeah, the No-Berg pennant. There you go.
We're the only Berg.
Yeah, the only Berg.
Yeah, they're actually going to call it. I heard the Pittsburgher giveaway.
Oh no,
they won't.
That's what I heard.
That's a great name for it.
I don't like that. I'm just telling you what I'm hearing. I'm talking to people in Milwaukee.
Mitch will shut them down. Don't worry about it.
Come on, Mitch. Throw the fucking Stinky cheese.
Throw that.
Who else do we know in the Brewers? How they so good?
The other pitcher that we like?
Yeah, McGill.
Yeah. He's dog.
Trevor McGill throws gas, but they're really just kind of like you. I mean, Christian Yelich is probably
Okay, I know him.
Yeah, but they're a lot of young guys who just manufacture runs. They have very good pitching, and their bullpen's very good. So it's kind of like, I mean, they just win, baby.
Team ball.
That's
win.
Brewers baseball.
I love baseball. Good sport. They were good to us. The MLB was very good to us. I'm very thankful for them. Let's make sure we continue to remain updated on baseball.
I'll keep watching. Tell the Yankees are eliminated.
Tell the Red Sox series.
Yeah, but you told me that you were out on the Yankees.
Yes, I did.
He said to me, AJ, worst collapse I've ever seen. I'm not watching every damn game of the Yankees anymore. That's what he told me, right?
Yeah, I said that on Monday.
Now what are we doing?
Twinkies came to town, baby, and Yankees on the Twins. 2 in a row. Judgy hit a homer last night. Giancarlo Stanton was 4 for 5.
Whoa. He's running the bases?
He's got an elbow?
Playing outfield, too. He is hard in a pistol right now. So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He hits it 150 miles an hour every single time he's up. Even if he gets out, he hits it so fucking hard.
The glove's going to feel it if he's out.
Yes. Or he's going to strike out, and if he let go of his bat, it would fly out of Yankee Stadium. He swings so fucking hard every single time. It's awesome.
And that's why we love him.
And that's why I love him.
That
exactly.
is why we love him.
And because he is so slow. So slow.
Anything else? And once again,
that's why we love him.
John Gruden about to get a lot of money from the NFL is kind of how it sounds. I guess this will be held in front of a judge in a courtroom.
Supreme Court?
Yeah. It's going to get moved to the Supreme Court, I guess. It's going to get appealed up there. But I guess the first ruling is one that is very much favorable for John Gruden. Discovery will happen. Public information will take place. So they were trying to get this behind closed doors, I do believe, if you were to break this down. But instead, a judge has deemed, this is to go through public. And it is interesting to think about how this all plays out. Okay? Very, very interesting. John Gruden, I think, obviously got fired, kicked out, banned from the NFL in life for using homophobic slurs in emails in 2014. I forget what we don't know the exact year. He gets kicked out of the league whenever this whole thing happened. Fired, I believe, with cause. So his contract, which was over $100 million. I mean, It all ended for him. He was the only person out of these hundreds of thousands, 600,000 plus documents. His emails were the only ones that were made public. And then obviously he's fired and his life goes the way it goes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a wild scene. It is certainly a wild situation. As it was happening, it was wild. Now looking back on it, it's crazy to think about. And now with this ruling, it's like, I think the NFL is very much like, wait a minute. A guy who has committed his entire life to football and to the NFL is now at a point where he can potentially tell them, okay, if you guys are just comfortable with all these things that are in these, because there could be business stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there could be
like 600,000.
Discovery is a wild thing, just as somebody that has been sued before by Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
This is the whole conversation was basically like holding over, like, you want
what else you got?
You want Discovery? You want Discovery to happen? And I was like, yeah, whatever. What does this mean? And they're like, they have the right now to look through what evidence would be. And evidence is anything they deem possible. So any of your text messages, any of your emails. And it doesn't just have to be text messages that are directly pertinent to the situation, because you might have had conversations with other people about that as well. So it's like the amount of things that Discovery can get and everybody's going to learn about you basically is what is the scary thing for people that are potentially going in it. Now, John Gruden's going to have the same exact situation. They're going to be operating Discovery against him as well, which is, I assume, what the NFL is saying in this entire thing. But how many things are saved from 2014 on John Gruden's side? Let alone, this is, I assume, something that'll get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Yep. And I honestly don't know what that number would be.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that goes.
We'll probably never know if I assume.
Yeah, the Winklevosses.
Especially with Goodell understanding that Gruden is football.
Loves
The NFL can't afford to have anything get out.
Yes, I agree.
It's a big Big
Gruden knows that.
Gruden, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And on the flip side,
With all the owners and
like they're doing a lot of selling to Gruden. Like, we built this league. Remember?
Yeah.
We love this league. Gruden's like, I did, man. Yeah.
If Gruden,
You ruined my life.
I learned a lot about this league, man.
Say we.
You know, and this entire thing, it's like
Say we to him. He should ask for a percentage of the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, and remember, Davis was not happy about this.
No,
shit.
he wasn't. He was pissed.
He has a whole nother side. There's a whole nother angle to it. Why don't you ask them? Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah, I do want everything out, actually. Ask them. And he was on. This is a wild situation, though. This is a big deal for the NFL.
I think he definitely coaches again. Do we think he coaches in the NFL again?
What do you think he does? Belichick goes to college?
I think college, yeah, SEC.
Because he could run the entire.
Just like, yeah.
Yeah, and we heard whenever he was coach, he was general manager anyway.
I mean, what would be really cool is full arc to this thing. They signed Pete Carroll to a 3-year deal just to establish the culture and then bring in a younger guy. And John Gruden's that younger guy they were planning on.
On 3 Sports reported, which, by the way, respect their work. I've been keeping up with them. They've been helping me out a lot as I prepare going into the season, and they're a great follow. I believe Rivals and them are partnered.
Yep.
John Gruden expressed his desire to coach again while talking to Georgia Bulldogs. This is via Barstool Gruden, which is an incredible social media account. I'm being honest with you. I do not bullshit either. I won't coach again, man. I died coaching the SEC. I would love it. I would fucking love it.
there's a couple schools that might need.
He's an SEC football coach.
Yeah. Someone's going to snatch him up. Someone has to.
He loves ball.
Imagine him as a recruiter. Imagine him recruiting.
Loves coaching.
Just loves all of it.
All of it.
Yeah, and even when he was
Gear.
casted off from the world, still every morning we're watching tape, man.
Yeah.
We're watching tape, man. I assume there is some jaded feelings from Gruden, and also there's a lot of people that say, hey, he did something that's worthy of a huge punishment. I get that, but him and the NFL are going to need to
come to the table.
Yeah,
put our swords down.
And I think John Gruden's he's acted as general manager before. I think he understands a little leverage.
I think he does too. I don't know if John Gruden's going to be putting his sword down. I think the NFL might need to put their sword down on the table.
John Gruden might be handing his sword to Jay. Hey, go stab Goodell in the face right now for me.
Jay Gruden, I will say, he also has a fantastic social media.
He does.
He
doesn't mind stirring the pot.
He brings it.
He does bring it.
You know what, actually? NFL, why don't you just release Jay Gruden's emails? I'd love to see Jay. That'd be cool. Why don't we just do the Gruden family?
That's a wild thing. The Discovery thing is the move. That is always the...
Nobody wants to start.
Going through the entire Brett thing, it was like...
Really shows you who the bad people are.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. What are we?
Exactly.
Let them know. Sweet. I feel like my life is monitored 24/7. I am A-okay. Yeah, but what about conversations you had in text? I feel like my life is monitored. Yeah, but what about your text messages? I feel like my life is monitored 24/7. Are you sure? Yeah. Yes, 100%. All right, we've never had anybody this confident. We let them know. It's like, go ahead, do it. I've lived legitimately, and I think Nick will tell you this, since, I don't know, maybe my rookie, I don't know. I feel like people are just watching everything you do. And it's like, I honestly believe you should operate in that fashion. Like, hey, you are getting watched and followed. The thought that his emails were the only ones that were released, but also how loose people were in emails. It's like, that was
like old people's
text messages.
Yeah.
That was like the evolution, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it started with letters. We saw Lamar Hunt's letter.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Second bullet point, like.
Let me get rid of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Please.
You think Jerry Jones likes John Gruden?
Not right now.
I'd say he is probably one of the ones telling Goodell we don't give him a fucking dollar.
I'm just trying to connect dots because, we love Sam Pittman. We love drinking cold beer, but there's a rumor that, this could be the last year at Arkansas. So if Jerry's got any respect for John.
John Gruden at Arkansas? Woo Pig Suey? Holy shit. With that fan base.
That'd be perfect.
And I assume, do they have money?
I don't know.
I mean, that's what he's saying. If
they do for basketball,
Calipari, that's the problem. They might have gave all the money. They might have picked.
Who else? They got John Daly. They got
and Cal. You can't pick basketball over football at Arkansas.
No, dude, the SEC, Florida, the SEC runs college basketball too. Florida just won it. some of these teams when it comes to those sports.
Didn't they have promise there football there for a little bit?
They did for sure.
When it comes to those sports.
Didn't they have promise there football there for a little bit?
They did for sure. I mean, especially when who were the two running backs?
Darren McFadden.
Darren McFadden and
No, who-
Felix Jones.
Who was the recent quarterback?
Matt Jones, the quarterback.
Ryan Mallett.
No, Mallett. Rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. The
Arkansas.
had a chance to have a good time with Ryan Mallett in Arkansas with John Daly. Feels like that is a night that we should always look back on with high
love Ryan
remembrance. He was so cool to me.
Yeah,
everybody, I think, super cool.
Great vibes.
Great vibes
all the time.
Arkansas, though, that is a fan base I think that is very much committed to
KJ
ball.
Jefferson.
Hungry.
There it is. KJ.
That's his name.
KJ Jefferson.
UCF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he
Boom. It is.
John Gruden,
10?
Arkansas. That would be crazy.
Auburn too. They don't have a good year.
Get Hugh out, and
You watch the SEC documentary.
exactly. I think Gruden would do well in Auburn.
Would you want them to do another SEC documentary?
I absolutely would. I am realizing that I pounded the drum very hard for the show, and I stand by that. But while talking about it, there are some parts of the show that suck that I might have been on my phone for. And
Okay, this is background. We're watching.
No. When there are very specific parts. When it's not the football, and it is the interviews of the college football historians, if you will, one guy gets a lot of play, and he knows who he is, and he knows that probably after he said to himself, I hope they don't use too much of me because I don't know if everyone's going to love me on the show.
Does he feel like a self-aware guy?
He is the worst. And
Okay, you need a good villain.
He's the
though.
only one in every episode.
I need to watch.
Put you to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
He's the only one in every episode. But the football stuff, the players, the coaches, that stuff is second to none. I love it.
I got a long flight coming up. I plan on watching that. Yeah. Longest flight available.
You'll know when you see him.
Actually, that's what it is.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Some moments in games they could have talked about too.
I agree.
Some moment. That's the other thing. We talked about how they might have avoided big calls that were either missed or not talked about. And then when you look back on the SEC, the biggest moments you think of are typically with Georgia and Bama and Ole Miss, and those three teams weren't featured on the show. Like they had the Bama Vanderbilt, which was sick because it was all the Vanderbilt
celebration
side of it. Yeah, like them leading into the game, them losing to Missouri. I forgot about that one. Missouri was 7th in the country, and Vanderbilt goes in and loses in overtime on a missed kick. Like they probably should have beat Missouri too. Like there are many things throughout the thing. Like one of the things we talked about with the LSU team is we wonder if they did more stuff with Kyron Lacey, but Kyron Lacey passed away before the draft this year. So, like, did they just cut that entire section out? Because the times of episodes is interesting. Some of them were an hour, some of them were 50, kind of similar, but then there was 2 35s, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, which never happened.
I like keeping it a guessing game.
Yeah.
I like, hey, this is what it's going to be. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I like it. I like all the documentary sports stuff we have. Obviously, Hard Knocks is happening right in front of our eyes here. Quarterback, obviously, new season of that. SEC out there. The basketball stuff that we just kind of skip by. A lot of good clips are coming out of that shit.
That's got to be coming out sometime soon, right? The one they did this past year with Tyrese and
That's going to be very
starting
early October, I think. It's right before the season starts. And then did you say the Jerry Jones Cowboys one?
Oh, yeah. No, it's coming out August.
Next 19th, next week.
Things get quiet. I just like to stir it up.
The Cowboys are always going to be a part of your life. Do you think this... Not getting into it. Let's get out of here. It was a good day.
What's the hell? Yeah.
Good day.
Like I have, throughout my life, I've had respect for certain business people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Steve Jobs, top of the list. Up here. Okay? Bad dad, I get it. Everything else, you're welcome. Basically, in the way he didn't build it himself. Okay. All right, let's all relax with that. Jerry Jones was one of the guys that I viewed as a business person, like Vince McMahon. Obviously, everything that's come out, that's the personal side. But business-wise, what he did and how he did it and what he created, it's like this dude is a fucking... Now, once again, just like with sometimes these very high-level people are going to have other traits that aren't necessarily the greatest in everybody's eyes or whatever. But it's like Jerry Jones was a trailblazer. like when it came to football ownership and ownership of sports teams and everything like that. So I got massive respect for his story and how he goes about doing his business and what he made the Cowboys into. Now, obviously, they were the first ever sports franchise to be valued at over $10 billion. Now I believe there's a few others that have been valued up over $10 billion. The Rams in LA, the Giants, obviously, in New York, New Jersey, and the Dallas Cowboys top the Sportico list. Now, Sportico, I got a lot of respect for. I appreciate Sportico. I've also seen internet things try to predict valuations or net worths and things like that and not have a clue what they're talking about. But it seems as if everybody kind of just thinks this is on board, especially if you go with the comps with teams that have been sold and what other leagues are doing, yada, yada, yada. So it's like I've always had respect for what Jerry has done as a business person. Building up the most valuable sports franchise on earth is obviously an incredible feat as somebody that is in the sports world, okay? With that being said, like the last 5 years, 10 years since we've been doing this show, really, it's like there's a lot of like, what are you doing? Like, what are, you know, like isn't there a lot of that? And it's like I've always viewed him as like, yep, Jerry will get it, like just like Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick will figure it out. Like that is, Bill Belichick signs somebody, Bill Belichick will figure it out. Like there's certain people, like I view Jerry like that. Like Jerry's doing this for a reason. Like there is a reason Jerry's doing it. There's been some shit though that has popped up on a more regular basis as of late. That's like, this feels dumb. Why would you say this? Because he lost his fastball. And I guess that's what Dallas Cowboys and other people, but I just want, I think I'm late to the game in asking that question strictly because I've been like, this guy is he's a fucking gambler. He's a fucking,
pioneer.
He's
you gotta respect that.
Yeah, he's unique.
Yeah.
He obviously is not perfect. There's a lot of things that he has done that are not perfect, but he goes for it, which I respect. And it's like, as of late, it's like, man, a lot of dumb shit saying that.
A lot.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
gotta respect, and we're football former players, so we know what. Okay, it doesn't add up when it comes to winning. The business part of it, though, you can't knock it at all. And what I respect more about him, because we were down there, Cotton Bowl.
Yeah,
we were down there.
Texas, Ohio State.
Texas, yeah. So and like just how much of his family is ingrained into the business. Well, I respect that. We saw what he talked about in Landman, but he really lives that shit. So I definitely respect that. But the last 5-10 years, we see so much more. We have so much more access into not only what's going on with the Cowboys, but what's going on with everybody around different leagues. Everybody has their inside. Oh, we're in the war room here. This deal is getting done here. So now we see.
We're on the pitch at Burnley.
Yeah, we're in all exactly. We're everywhere now. So now you see that compared to what Jerry's doing. It's like, okay, what the hell is he doing? And he's always, like he said, he likes to stir it up. And then you look at the valuation. It's like, all right, that's what he's doing.
I guess it's working. Everything he's doing is working, AJ, legit. But the Cowboys are always going to be, prime time, big name.
Hopefully, right? You don't think that could ever be tarnished, right? To where, like, we understand the Cowboys haven't had the success they want, but they're always going to be like that franchise, don't you think, even long after Jerry?
I don't know. How many Cowboys fans do you know? I think Cowboys fans are like really Cowboys fans.
Yeah, but the NFL also loves Dallas. Like the NFL is never going to want the world's most expensive franchise to start turning the other way.
We'll have to,
They're always
we'll have
going
to
to
see, though, because he's one of one. So, like, after he passes away, like, I get it's his kids, and they've been around, and they've worked with him a lot, but, like, we'll see how much things change.
Yeah, how much shit are they going to stir up?
Right.
Don't forget about AI Jerry.
How much
Yeah, he'll be around forever.
He was one of the first AIs holograms I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
AI Jerry's got
He's got the blueprint for what everyone else is trying to do, though. Like, where does it go, do you think, when it comes to like stuff around the stadium, like the Jerry World own it all? Like, is there another step to that? Because the Cowboys are already there. That's
casino is the move. If you can get a casino, and that's, I don't know if anybody's been able to pull that off.
Texas, no, that was the whole Dallas Mavericks.
No, but I thought New England was trying, right? Wasn't that the thing? New England was like trying to get a casino in there, I think, at the time.
Yeah, and then they put in the first ever casino in Massachusetts. They did put in like 5 years ago, but that's by Boston. That's
there wasn't I think the goal would be hotel, restaurants, shops, casino. Stadium.
Yeah.
That, I think that would be the goal.
Is it legal?
I thought players were allowed.
Conflict of interest.
That's a great question.
Wasn't the thing with the NFL guys was if the Colts went to New England players couldn't gamble at a casino in New England, but the Colts players could. Wasn't
that's a college thing. I think
that's a college. Okay.
different kids from different colleges weren't able to gamble in the state in which they went to college. I think New Jersey had one of those. There was
that's for sure.
Yeah, there was another one. I forget what it was.
Yeah, no, I thought it was an
Illinois.
NFL
It's a
player
lot of
thing.
states. for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the
Some states, as a human being, you're not allowed to.
I forget what we were allowed.
Connecticut's like you can't bet on UConn.
In the state.
We weren't allowed to take any free rooms or free drinks. I think is like the rule. We were allowed to play blackjack, but we weren't allowed to accept any of the benefits.
Oh,
I think was the rule, if I remember right.
When you're in the league or in college?
In the league.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because at one point, Tony Romo wasn't even allowed to go to a fantasy football convention.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Then they changed the rule because of how big that story got pretty big. Then there was like a rule change where it's like you're allowed to go to a casino and play blackjack, but you're not allowed to get the free room or something. Like I forget what the... Because I was very interested. I was a gambler, I would say. I had a craps table underneath my kitchen table in my first house. You know, like I enjoy trying to strike it big and trying to win, but I also don't want to lose my job because of it, you know, like scratchers, shit like that. Colts had scratchers. I asked a question in a meeting and Chuck came up to me the next day and was like, "Do you like it here?" I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Let's not fucking."
Jeez.
How come I can't get a scratch off? Colts are allowed to have a scratch off. Why am I not allowed to have a scratch off? I think I could do great in the scratch off industry here in Indiana. I could just get with the state lottery, get scratch offs, put them in gas stations. I think I'd do well with that. Colts are allowed to have one. I'm not allowed to have it. Why is that? We'll get back to that. Meeting obviously keeps moving. Chuck, literally. Hey, come on.
Jesus Christ.
Just
fucking drop it.
Just stop.
It was fucking awesome. It was one. I laughed so hard whenever he said, he was like, "What? Just, we don't need that, right? Scratchers. Scratchers."
Just fucking keep buying them. Shut up.
You're right, dude. But it's always been sports and gambling has been like very,
yeah.
But it's also like society now.
And now.
Yeah, it's an interesting. That's just like weed too, man. You know, you talk about like weed. Whenever that was happening, Colorado, you could smoke weed legally as a citizen there, but in the United States of Goodell, you could not. You know, like don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. So what? Your entire neighborhood can, and it's right there across the street. You're not allowed in our league, but not allowed to do it. Now, like as it's becoming more and more, it's like they've lowered the rate in which they test for. Inevitably, that's going to end up being at zero. Players are going to have to give up a bunch. It's like, but that's kind of how the whole world's all kind of coming in together, right?
Yeah,
and it's a good thing.
It's about time.
I can't sports betting in the
players
locker
cannot
room. You can't
gamble.
do it. Just who was just talking? Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Did you see
Talking about his brother?
Yeah.
What happened?
And a lot of people were really making fun of his brother because of what he said. But
what happened?
Michael Porter Jr. basically said, like, you know, when you become a professional athlete and you have all this money, like a lot of people have vices. Like my vice is woman. My brother's vice was gambling because he couldn't get any girls, and then that's what people took it as.
And then
they just continued to
he
bury.
gambled a little bit too much.
Yeah. And his vices were the end of him.
He was like, "Hey man, what if I tell all my boys, hey, take the under today, bet 10 grand.
Yeah, come from nothing.
Take the under, I fake an injury.
That's what I'm saying. We can't do that.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta.
We can't do that.
Certainly don't need to be talking about it on a podcast either.
It's Michael Porter Jr. football.
Kind of just makes people.
It's all right.
Yeah, it makes people think.
His brother's in jail. I'll never see him.
No, yeah, for sure.
All right. It's all getting better.
Hell yeah.
We know so much. But do we know it all? Never will.
Never.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. We'll see you tomorrow. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.